Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to our Saturday night D&D session, where we follow the exploits of Team Soteria. They're currently questing in the Desert Valley, fulfilling official job requests for their parent company, Acquisitions Incorporated. They just got done with a job at Yartar, where they helped them take care of some giants, and I believe they decided their next job they want to take would be in the town of Goldenfields, which is a little toward the south, back towards Waterdeep. But yeah, would anyone like to do a more detailed recap?
I just watched it, but I wasn't there for the last half. But I watched it.
Kick giant butt. I think that was the extent of it.
We kicked giant butt.
There was
We
green flame.
made Cax super smart.
I was catching things on fire.
Yep. There's something. Lathander loves Nat. Like, they are special from Lathander.
Yes, that's what it is.
That's what I was told. That's actually what I was told. We went back to town to finish up.
What's up, gang?
Hey, we're recapping. We're all live.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I saw. I just got back to the hotel.
Cax smuggled their way, or stealthed their way into the temple. I got us in by saying something about magic. Nat cast the Zone of Truth to figure out what the heck was going on with the spell book, which is what I would have done. It's not there. There are librarians, and I have thoughts. And so now we are, I assume, still in the temple of
Yeah, you can
Chimera.
roleplay from there.
We had just
Also,
left because we decided there's nothing really more we could do.
Beautiful. I didn't know if we left or not.
yeah, I think you were on the way out. You were just trying to figure out your method of passage to Goldenfields.
And Ukman is blue.
Ukman is still green. Nat is blue.
Nat is blue.
Nat is blue? I thought Ukman
No.
was blue.
Ukman is his same green, leafy, texture. But Nat's fur has turned blue when they finished their summoning of Ukman. It changed to a pleasing shade of blue instead of red.
Blue fur.
That's weird. I don't like it.
But yeah,
Nat doesn't like it either.
that's
Very
what
nice.
that's what happened. So you guys are still in Yartar, but you're like leaving toward, or on your way toward Goldenfields, I believe. And I think there were two possibilities mentioned. You can go either via cart over land or ferry your way there. Because you'll need a large enough boat to carry both you and your car and Ukman. But if you do find one, you can just ride the Desert River all the way down south, basically, to Goldenfields, because Goldenfields is pretty close to it.
Okay. Evelyn would do that, like when you're baking and you have flour on your hands and you do that like quick clap,
Yeah.
then like wipe it on your legs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right, because I can't do it. I want to physically do it, but you can't
Just
see me.
like a flat, then
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
let's go, like a get to work thing. She'd be like, okay, what's next? Where do we have to go next?
Goldenfield. Right.
Where are our job lists? You look at Rex, be like, what are the job lists? Pull them out.
I pulled them out. I should know the list off the top of my head, but I don't.
You can't just pull it out in public. Come on.
There's Goldenfields, Amphale, and Longsaddle are left.
And then I would look at the cartographer, Indy, and I would be like, okay, which of these is closest?
So, internet's really bad. Hold on.
Well, Amphale and Goldenfields are right next to each other. So it might be what you do
I,
next
the
after
player,
Goldenfields.
know that, but Evelyn doesn't know that.
I mean, Evelyn might know geography, standard geography.
Yeah, Amphale's like right outside.
Yeah,
Waterdeep.
Amphale's like the town closest to Waterdeep.
Evelyn's got average intelligence.
Oh, so does Freya, but you know.
And then she would look at Nat while Indy's figuring it out, be like, is this normal? She'd
So DM, do I figure it out?
I mean, you have maps of the area and provided to you by Acquisitions Incorporated HQ. Also, brief aside, Nat, I like how you changed your icon to be blue.
I appreciate that.
But yes, they're
Also,
they're
what
they're
are the
pinned
icons?
by a veteran cartographer of the area from HQ, and they list like prominent cities in and not so prominent locations of interest in the Desert Valley. You have, of course, Waterdeep. You have Tribor there. There's Amphale, Yartar, a little speck on the map that no one likes and no one would ever think of staying for long, just merely passing through, a small town called Red Larch.
Nobody goes there.
No one goes there. It's horrible. Westbridge is also there, a small town as well. But Goldenfields is also marked on the map. And it's sort of further to the south, close towards Amphale, Indy. But if you're trying to figure out information about it, I don't think there's not like a legend, so to speak, that says Goldenfields and gives you a blurb. It's just you just have maps.
Okay.
It's in between. It's close to the banks of the Desrin River. It's in between the Forlorn Hills and the Westwood. Sort of almost perfectly in the middle between those two.
Okie dokie. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
See, I'm going to make you all use your acquisition jobs or else it'll kill me.
Hopefully that worked.
Yeah, if you're looking
Sorry,
on the
I'm
map,
trying-
you're looking on the map. This would probably most accurately depict the map that Indy actually has of the area. Something very similar to this. Goldenfield is like way down to the south.
What was the other one? It was Amphale, Goldenfields, and what?
Long Saddle. Now, Long Saddle isn't on this map, but it's more north than Tribor. So you follow the long road, and you just keep on following it, and it's pretty close to, you know. Let me see if I can get to the normal map and show you guys where Long Saddle is. Long Saddle is right there, east of the Neverwinter Wood. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Where it's
It's
not as, if you're in Tribor, it's not as far from Tribor to Long Saddle. It's actually longer from Tribor to Amphale. So
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, you're in Yartar right
We
now.
are here.
Let me zoom in a
There.
little bit. This map isn't the most high res because Roll20 can't support super high res. They're 32
There.
meg or whatever. Yeah, so you're in Yartar right now, but you have jobs in Amphale, Long Saddle, and Goldenfields is like right here. It's not on the map, but it's like right there, east of Amphale, kind of where. I'll give him a circle here. Kind of where all these rivers meet. It's like right here.
Oh.
Yeah. Those that lived in Waterdeep can make a history check to get more information about Goldenfields.
I roll a 13.
All right, that's pretty good because it's not like super rare knowledge.
Nat could also roll one because Nat lived in London.
Yes.
So did Tim.
Yeah.
What's that? I was getting into roll 20.
Did you live in London?
I did, yeah.
You can roll a history check to figure out where we're going or stuff about
Thank
it.
you. Sorry, I was trying to. I gotta fix my saved password because I keep getting locked out.
15.
Where's my face?
Do I get a history check?
On your head, hopefully.
Well, you're already headed towards there, Bjorn. So you know all what it's about already because you're headed towards there. You are with purpose. And I'll reveal that to you once they meet you along the way.
I've not got a coin, so I'm gonna flip a bullet.
So Rex, Nat, Evelyn, you all know, Rex will have a little more knowledge, but you all know that Goldenfields is so named because of its numerous golden fields, but they are sort of like the breadbasket of the Desserin Valley. They're pretty much responsible for more than half of the sort of grown crops that the Desserin Valley consumes. And it's a very large town. Rex, this is what you would know. It's a fairly large town, population-wise, pretty much on par with Tribor. They worship as is appropriate. They worship Shantea there. She sort of holds sway there. The Emerald Enclave, a large sort of faction of the Sword Coast that counts druids and rangers and other nature-inclined folk amongst its members. Also holds sway there as well. They grow numerous crops, including but not limited to corn, wheat, barley, hops, vegetables, herbs, pumpkins, various fruits, that sort of thing. They're pretty famous for, that is the worst crop. They're pretty famous also for, as far as the crops, they also have a brewery there, Rex, that is pretty famous. It sells a beer called the Golden Gulp beer that's very well received and well liked throughout the Desert Valley.
Okay.
And you would know as well, Rex, that every fall, with 19, they have a sort of a fall festival, similar to sort of like a real-world equivalent of Oktoberfest, where they brew all these beers and they, sort of celebrate the harvest, and they do a lot of drinking and partying.
Cool. I've probably been to one. Yeah, I'll relay that to the group. Is it fall right now? Or are we about to run into Oktoberfest?
It is turning in. It is fall right now.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, guys, prepare yourselves for some drinking.
What?
What?
So, which is closest? That's what I wanted to know. That's what Evelyn said. Which destination is closest to Indy?
Destination-wise, as the crow flies, probably Long Saddle, but you don't travel as the crow flies. You'd have to go back to Tribor and then back to Long Saddle.
Yeah, so which one's closest to Tribor?
Closest to Tribor proper would probably be Long Saddle.
Okay, so Long
Wasn't
Saddle first.
Long Saddle like the least important one? Didn't we decide on that?
Yeah, so Long Saddle, there's a prominent wizard family in Long Saddle that is having some issues with their magic.
Oh yeah, see that was very important.
And then Amphale is their horse is gone crazy. Amphale is sort of, this is anyone from Waterdeep too. You don't really need to, especially the militant people, don't really need to know. Amphale produces wonderful horses of all types, especially war horses, that the paladins of the Order of the Aster make use of when they don't summon their own steeds.
Cool.
And so, but So they're well known for that.
I think people being poisoned is most important, then horses, and then, lastly, it's just some magic family, Because they might be closest, but they're the least, important
Yeah. Plus, you
thing
have
right now.
you'd be essentially going. I mean, you don't. You be if Cax was here, she would know this. You guys would be essentially going downriver too. So that would
it's
lessen your
fast.
travel time considerably.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
So we need to find a boat.
So,
Or do we want a
so
boat?
the question was, which one is close?
By mileage. Are you just doing straight lines?
Oh man, my internet's too slow to connect to anything. This is horrible.
Straight lines. It's. Let me go to. I have something for this. Ho 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 ho. Okay, so from Tribor to Yartar, it is 2.5 days by horseback. From Tribor to Long Saddle, it is 4 days. So from where you are to Long Saddle, it's 6.5 days. Man, Tribor to 6.5 days. Yeah, I got that. And you're trying to go from Tribor to Goldenfields. 1 second.
No, from where we are right now.
Yartar. Okay, got it. Yartar 2.5. Math is the worst. 3. This is by horseback, by the way, not by boat. $14.5 by horseback from where you are to Goldenfields.
Yeesh.
However, that's by horseback, not by boat. So the time will be cut in half if you go by boat.
That's nice.
So it's about it's either 6.5 days or 7 days.
Okay.
Also, I didn't prepare Long Saddle, so
Okay.
We
you
go
want
to
go
Long
Saddle.
Saddle.
See, this is the point. Hold on, I am being summoned.
Gas.
Too bad. We're doing Long Saddle.
We wanted to find a boat that we could put the cart on too, right? Is that a thing that is available in Yartar? It's a pretty big city.
yeah, Yartar is a big city as well as their shipbuilding city. They are famous for, among other things, they're a wretched hive of scum and villainy, but they also are quite famous shipwrights as well.
So you're saying we should build an amphibious attachment onto the cart? I see. I agree.
That might require quite a bit of gold and time, but you can try. How do you make a horse amphibious? Turn
Make
into a
it a
giant frog.
seahorse.
Turn into a giant
Rex.
frog.
I need you to research.
Okay, you're going to word jail now, Mia.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, but it doesn't mean it's
I mean, technically you are, because amphibious means you can do both. Seahorses can only be in water.
You don't know that.
Pretty sure they
Have
can.
you-
it's never been scientifically tested.
Yeah, have you ever seen a seahorse out of water?
Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to Google and see seahorse out of water.
Google.
Also, I am literally just imagining it like a duck. Like one of the cart, amphibious cart, it's just a duck
See,
with a
the
horse in
first
the front.
autocomplete. Can a seahorse survive out of water? They breathe through gills and have a swim bladder.
But it doesn't say they don't have lungs.
Yeah, it doesn't specifically say that they can't live out of water.
It says they are fish, they live in water and breathe through gills.
I mean, some fish live on land.
I love this
And they
conversation.
are marine fish, so they are saltwater as well.
So the Americans send them to fight land wars.
Marine means ocean.
I know. Like, explain that to your military.
I'm just done with you. You're in word jail. Yeah, so you guys can charter a ferry. It'll cost you, let's say, 5 gold though.
$5 all up, or
Yeah, just for everyone.
I mean, I'm not here, so
And that's the one big enough for the cart, right?
Yes,
Sweet. Well, I'll pay that.
that comes with
Yeah,
you know
that's-
meals and
that's
stuff too. It's not
very good
great meal.
price.
It's fish primarily for meals, but you know.
Back to Google. Do foxes like fish as much as cats?
I'm pretty sure I've seen a fox eat fish.
I mean, I think so. Anyway,
Yeah,
so are we
foxes
all
mean,
good with that?
It's
I'll
nothing
pay
like
the
a
5
nice
gold.
moist spring
Okay.
hair, but you know.
What are we paying gold for?
I'm paying gold for
Seahorses.
No.
for a boat that will take the cart as well.
To where?
Goldenfield.
You missed that.
And Goldenfield is closest.
No, Goldenfield is the most important though. People are
Okay.
dying there.
That is true. This is accurate.
I can't believe you
That's
missed that
fine.
conversation.
Well, you know, stuff happened over here.
She had RL
Also, I
aggro.
kind of wanted to like go somewhere else that Nate had not planned to make.
I mean, I have the bare outline for it, but I don't have any NPCs set up. I don't have any, I don't have the battle set up. I don't have anything set up for it. So it would be a lot of bullshit on my part to,
It would be great. You'd be great.
no. Goldenfields Part 1 has, let's see how many bullet points. A lot.
Like 5.
At least 20. But yeah. So you guys are have chartered a ferry and are beginning your sort of way down to Goldenfields. Also on the ferry, and I'll give you guys some time to RP after this. You might want to ask Nat why their fur is now blue. That's weird.
I did that already. I said this is normal.
I mean, I wouldn't say that weird stuff happening when I cast magic is the weirdest thing either. My hair hasn't turned blue before.
Fine.
But you said you were blessed by Lathander. And that's what I figured out.
We're all blessed by Lathander.
Well, I know that and you know that,
Mhm,
but not everyone knows that.
mhm.
You're like special blessed. Like Evelyn blessed.
Oh yeah, that person whose statue I knocked over. That's right.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I mean, I could have picked like gold, or something.
Gold would have
Gold
been
would be pretty.
gold would be like correct. As Evelyn looks at her white and gold arrangements with her like blue and her sunset.
Gold would work too. Gold's always good.
Gold is always good.
White's good too. Pure.
Pink was great. I loved the pink.
Pink's great.
But there's a few other people on this ferry, but one immediately catches your eye because they are very large. Like, I don't think you're a large creature, but you're like right on the border.
Medium.
You're
7 through 8 feet.
You're right on the border, crouching up on that large size. It is a
Yeah.
giant, or sorry, a Goliath.
Goliath, what?
It's just it looks like a Goliath as their race. And I'll allow Bjorn to take over describing their character.
I haven't got like a proper, like, just imagine like an amalgamation between Harrison Ford from Indiana Jones 1 and Jason Statham. And that's basically my character. Very chiseled jawline, very like, sharp features, like Goliath can't grow hair, I don't think, but like kind of like double kind of style Jason Statham has. A big halberd on one hip, two hand axes underneath like his armpits, two scimitars at his hip, and a light crossbow just like somewhere. Like
Up their ass.
I mean, you say that, but like a very ornate, like metal breastplate, very on it, very stylized. I don't know, make a roll to try and identify it. It's a magical fancy breastplate, so I don't know, that's innate stuff. But yeah, just kind of walking around, like kind of just like socializing with everyone, really, just going between, mixing between all these groups, and yeah.
I mean, you're trying your best to, because of your sheer size and sort of imposing armaments. Even with your sort of, well, most people are sort of giving you a wide berth, because you remind them a bit too much of the giants that just murdered their town. So.
Yeah, that'd be a bit. Oof.
So, I want to get to this new character, but I also want to finish this conversation with Nat. So, I make note of the new character, and I finish my conversation with Nat, and I go, "Do you want me to like figure out why this happens? Like besides being special,
What do you mean?
like you said, this is unusual, and like stuff happens. Do you know why stuff happens? Like, can we figure that out? Cause like it's super cool, but I kind of want to know why."
I mean, sure. I mean, I never put much thought into it. I just always thought I wasn't very good at magic, so weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
Would this be like a magic-y check or like a
This would be an
something's wrong with you medicine?
arcane check, probably. Because it seems to happen whenever they use magic.
Rex,
Yes.
Rex, you know I'm not smart with magic shit. Stuff happens when Nat uses magic.
Yeah. I guess I'll go over and I'll I guess consider the last time and when they turned what color? Blue or green?
Blue.
Blue.
It's
Well, they're
disturbing.
currently
It's
blue. You can
more
see
blue
it.
Yeah.
than
No, I
still a
just-
nice.
But
turquoise.
before that, they were intermittently setting things on fire whenever they touched them.
Right. Yeah. I'd love
Evelyn
an
knows that
Arcana
it's not
check
her
just to
purview.
kind of meditate on this. Good to go.
Yeah,
Well,
if you're trying to, if you're actually trying to like figure out what it is, then yeah, you can give me an Arcana check.
Absolutely. What did I get?
Oh, 28 is very good.
Putting
Very
my
good.
magic feelers out there. What's going on?
Magic feelers. So you've seen, like, you know that Nat is a paladin of Lathander. So you're a master of arcane magic, whereas theirs is divine based, similar to Evelyn's, but not as advanced due to their sort of split between martial training and magic training. However, you've never heard of divine magic that can do whatever Nat is experiencing currently. It seems to be almost random in nature. And man, 28 is very good. And
I read a lot.
It is. And so you recall from reading in your sort of Denier, the library, that there are a lot of people that can use magic, like, and there are some, and unlike you, who's a wizard, and who studies magic, there are people that are just innately born with the ability to use magic, and sometimes that magic is wild and unpredictable. and whenever they cast a spell, something else
Okay.
can occur. And you think that might be what's happening here. What that thing is that is sort of supplementing or impeding, however you want to look at it, Nat's magic, you don't quite know yet.
Okay. So yeah, I'll relay that to the group. There's something beyond divine, something beyond your faith. There's magic in you that was there regardless of the gods that you worship. And you don't have control over it, obviously. But it's there and it's getting out, and that's what we're seeing. What in your history, I mean, do you know anything about, is there any unusual thing that could be explained this way, I guess? I would ask them.
Eh, I don't know. I haven't, I haven't
I
really
like
done
the
a-
Metal Gear.
I was about to
Alert.
say it, but I didn't want to interrupt them.
Yeah.
The what?
This,
What did I do?
That Metal Gear looking at
my phone
while you were
notifications.
thinking.
Oh,
There's a Metal Gear Solid.
like I don't know. I mean, I've just spent my whole life at the Spire. I haven't really done anything
What about
that
your
crazy. Do
parents
you, do you
maybe?
have
I mean, do you
anything
have
specific? I'm kind of confused by the question.
yeah,
Evelyn,
go ahead.
Evelyn looks at Rex, looks at Nat, looks at Nat, looks at Rex, and does it again. And then goes, I wonder if this magic thing could be the reason that you broke the statue.
Oh no, that's because there's like a bird. Maybe it was I can't remember what it was, and I was looking at it, and I was just swinging, and then smashed the statue.
Or
Oh.
why like other weird stuff happened while you were there, and like why they didn't advance you, and why they like did you tell us you got kicked out?
No, Nat doesn't know they got kicked out.
Okay.
Nat thinks they're on a
were
super
sent
secret
out.
mission
They
from
were told,
Lathander.
yeah, they were told that they were sent out by a super secret mission.
Or why you were sent out for the secret mission.
I think that was because like they saw after I smashed the statue. And it's like even though I was failing all my classes, and
What if it's
but
'cause
like I saw I was so strong, they were like, yes, Nat's ready.
but what if it was making you fail your classes?
Yeah, that must be it.
Like that's weird, right? Like
Yeah.
because for what I've seen, you're better than some of the other paladins that I've met. Like you should be in the Order of the Aster, and like
Aw.
you keep us safe, and you've got this awesome steed, and like you're super cool, and you made sure we're all geared up right, and like their magic works, so why does your magic work? And so if your magic's failing, I bet you're cursed.
Cursed.
I mean, it's the only option in my world, right? Doesn't Lathander say that like if something's not right, it's either broken, hence
So,
cursed,
um,
or sick, hence healed.
It's a distinct possibility, Evelyn, but you don't know if they are cursed. You don't know what did it, and you don't know how deep it is, so to speak. How deeply it affects them.
Don't even know if they're cursed. She's just pausing things.
It's like, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, but there's definitely something magical here at work. In addition to the divinely sourced magic from Lathander.
nothing about it jumps out to me, right? I'm not a smart man, so, but just hearing Rex talk about it, sort of like, I don't know if it would maybe be something I might know about.
Let me look a bit more into your backstory. I think you sent it to me.
I do have an updated one when you want it.
Yeah, that might be helpful. I think so. What made you? What was it? This is sort of towards now. What made you summon Ukmin? Like,
Do you want me to say this like meta
no,
out of
no.
character?
Like,
Or-
does Nat know why their steed is in the form of Ukmin, or is it just they just tried to summon it and it happened to be that?
Yeah, they just summoned it. It happened to be that.
Okay. Did they ever think why it's like this and it's not a normal elk or a horse? Why it's a leaf elk or horse?
Like it had crossed their mind just because it's like that, and they don't know why, but when they were young, they suddenly learned how to speak Sylvan basically overnight. So they did think that kind of stuff was weird, but they never like never really thought too deeply about it.
Yeah, if they didn't ponder too deeply on it, then nothing will come to mind really of why whatever this thing is. Um, a 28 on a Conorex is very good, but you haven't.
I just don't know how much I could say. I don't want to spoil
Well,
anything.
you don't know. Like Nat hasn't either by doesn't really know what to tell you to give you more information. If Nat provide you more information, or if you spent more time with them, you might be able to deduce what exactly this is, Rex. But currently, you're at a loss.
Like if you have more specific questions, maybe I could help you. I'm just kind of confused with what you're asking.
How many days have we been on this boat yet?
You've been out a couple days.
Cool.
We'll let you
I'm gonna
guys
go play
simmer.
with my
That's
stuff.
still blue.
Yeah, you're blue for forever now. It's not going away.
Evelyn, well, because Evelyn like is a Healy cleric, so she
Yeah,
knows
you can try out different ways to
about.
try to restore Nat to their normal fur color. You can try that.
So like first she would
Die.
no,
I'm not using magic. There's no chance of that.
I'm not okay. So I'm not changing the kit I have set for Goldenfields, but I'm going to cast spells that through this montage have been prepared. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just have to look at all of them.
Okay. So while you're doing that, Bjorn, you've been trying to socialize with
Bjorn.
these sailors from Yartar, and they are just not giving you a lot. You're like trying to perform for them. You're trying to, tell whatever jokes you know. Trying to find some common ground. They're just shutting you down. And the only people that seem to not like visibly shy away from you whenever you get close to them are this group of Cax is here in spirit. This group of 6 individuals, like a ragtag group. If you ever did see one, the only sort of thing that's it's 2 tieflings, 2 humans, like a fox that's standing on 2 legs, but and bigger. Sorry, 3 humans, a fox, and 2 tieflings.
I assume you've seen the Banksy before.
Yeah, but this one's a bit different. Like this is different than normal cat people. And the only sort of thing that they all have in common is they're all wearing this silver pin. That like they're different designs, but it's the same material, and they're wearing it in the same spot.
Well, I recognize it.
I don't think so.
I feel like if he did recognize that pin, he would know just to completely avoid these people.
Just like no, thank you. But no, you don't. That's the only thing sort of you would notice that's sort of identifies them as in a group together, so to speak.
So eventually I assume Bjorn would go like, well then, I've gone into the wrong fucking accent. Jesus Christ. I need to go into this accent. What's a handsome group like you doing on a boat like this?
Well,
Radio silence.
Well, you were talking to Evelyn.
Oh, this was to the entire
Yeah,
group.
you're all sitting together, trying to figure out
I-
what's wrong with Nat, and he comes.
I heard the word bloke.
This
which I
giant
assume
this Goliath comes up to you.
I know means gent, right?
And I said, what? I said, Russian act. Why am I going? I need to get into act. What is a handsome group like you doing on a boat like this?
Oh, group.
I totally heard bloke.
yeah, same.
It might have just been shitty internet.
Think we're handsome?
I mean,
Explain it.
I don't think you need to
surely
take
handsome
compliments
is.
too literally. We're going to Goldenfield.
You're going to the festival as well, I see.
Oh, you heading there?
Kinda. We're gonna figure out one of their problems. Maybe we can stop by for a drink.
You always stop by. If you're ever going to Goldenfields, stop by for a drink. That is one of the two good things there.
What's the other good thing?
Yours truly, of course. Gives a wink.
Oh boy.
This is why I wanted Nathan to play this character.
Flamboyant Russian
Um,
Goliath.
Yeah, like you've seen
Wait, I have
my
a
like 4 notes on this guy.
I have a question.
You know.
Hey, Nat blushes a little.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How old is this Goliath?
It's probably like equivalent to about like 23-ish, like 21, 23-ish. Like not that old, really.
Evelyn would probably blush too,
He is like
but like
on
in
a
a
scale
comfortable manner. 'Cause
on
she
a
hasn't really
scale
been
of
around
1
much.
to 20 on handsomeness. He's resting at about 17.
Oh,
I
Yeah, that's
mean,
good enough for Nat.
Are
I like
you
it.
from Goldenfields?
Well, did you ask that?
Yep.
Not from Goldenfields itself, but I have family lives down there. My
Have
2
you-
sisters.
Have you heard from them recently?
I assume I would have.
They very
Knowing
well
his
could be dead.
relationship with his sisters.
oh no. That's not a way to start conversations.
They have lived through more than whatever is going through a Goldenfield. I'm sure they will survive this.
Do they have much experience with poisons?
We have experience with an entire village being destroyed by raiders. Poison isn't. Poison is poison.
I agree.
Poison is poison is poison, which is poison.
I agree that poison is poison.
Oh
This
yeah,
is-
real quick. So you said it's been a couple of days. Has the correct spell been cast on Nat to fix their fur?
I'm
Right now?
working on it. There's a couple spells I'm trying.
yeah, Evelyn's trying out
It-
some
it-
spells on you.
Is not a new magical box. Have you just replaced that magical box with Nat now?
What magical box?
The magical box that we have.
Yes.
Oh, the chest.
Just casting spells into it.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, like, I have to figure out what it could be. So Evelyn's trying to suss if it's like magic and she needs to like dispel it, or if it's like natural and she's got to remove a curse or something. So she's trying to like, or if it's like a disease or something. So she's trying to like she's diagnostic testing. I know what to cast. Joe knows what to cast, but it's more fun to make Evelyn figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, in this time, I'm pretty sure Nat would have been looking around the bag just because they're bored. Pulled out the ring of the ram and then trying to figure out if anybody else wants it.
Anyone want this ring? Please.
Aren't you wearing it?
No, because Nat doesn't take anything for themselves. Just
Damn, I might as well not come.
Put it on.
oh my gosh, go here.
It would give you a
Does nobody
ranged
else want
attack.
Wait, what's
It does-
okay?
it
Hold on.
does.
Look up. Okay,
Can I
Oh.
cast
I like that.
on Nat the spell I want to cast, which is Dispel Magic, see if it's magic.
Dispel magic does not work.
So
Oh.
it was learned that it's not magical.
I can see them casting all these spells.
And it's
Yes.
not.
I assure
And
you, my
it's not-
beautiful friend, this is my true form. You need not use magic to see through me.
No,
So
no,
then-
they're using it on me.
Oh,
This is
He
not
is
the truth.
aware.
I'm usually not blue.
Wait. And then for shits and giggles, she casts Bestow Curse.
What?
Oh.
Okay.
Curse it.
Uh,
Curse it normal.
What are you
So-
doing?
Are you cursed? Just
Seeing
being
if you
normal
could get rid of
forever?
a curse with giving a curse.
It's
That
not.
doesn't
This isn't
sound
a
right.
house, okay? It doesn't work.
It feels like there should be
Listen,
one more
they-
step before that one.
So
won't
basically,
die
what happens is
cancer if you shoot
you
them in the head.
try to curse Nat for some reason. So much for do no harm, but
Oh, hold on, humor me. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my gosh.
so you
Listen-
well, here's the thing: you try to, but it doesn't take hold for some reason.
Can I not
Weird.
have two curses?
It's as if something is overriding it.
Weird.
I don't
Okay.
actually know anything about bestow curse.
So
what
Neither do I.
what you're trying to do is fix like a flu by giving them smallpox.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Then she'll cast Remove Curse since Bestow Curse didn't work.
All right.
And this
So
is like over like 2 days.
this is like the house method of curing someone. So.
Yep.
So yeah, remove curse. When Evelyn casts it on you, Nat, your fur starts to. Whereas it was instant when it as soon as you summoned Ukman, it was just like blue. It's sort of more of a slow effect. It spreads out from where Evelyn touched you, and it's spreading out from where she touched you. It's turning back to its usual pinkish / red shade.
That's better. That'd be actually cool. Can you just do it halfway so I can be like half red, half blue?
I don't think
it works that way.
Just joking.
Wow.
I could put a curse back on you.
No,
make you
I
half
think I'll
blue.
pass. I thought
What?
you already tried to put a curse on me.
I know it didn't work, so but I took this curse off so now we can put another curse on you.
I don't think I like that.
Oh, curses.
Yeah.
I guess I fixed it. Did that
Yay.
fix everything or just
You don't know because Nat has not tried to cast a spell yet.
Nat try to cast
Can
a
I-
spell?
Okay, I'll cast Sanctuary on myself.
All right. As soon as you do that, you turn invisible.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Can I tell I'm invisible?
Oh my god, they've disappeared.
I mean, just
They're
based
gone.
on
You
the
killed them.
astonished looks from your party members, you know something's wrong. And then, I mean, you don't notice. You look down at your hand and you realize you can't see it.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, can you not see yourself when you're invisible?
You can see like an
No.
outline of yourself, but it's very vague.
You're like a predator.
I
Yeah.
always thought you was like the invisibility cloak. Like no one else could see you, but you could see yourself.
I would say because
Remember.
they're not used to using invisibility, they have no idea how this works, and so that's how it appears to them.
What the heck? You hear just like panicked fox noises.
Can I find that?
I'll give you a perception check. It's a disadvantage because they're invisible.
Am I there when they go invisible?
Yes.
If you wanted to sneak away with me like a bag of friends, you could have just
12.
asked.
I don't want to leave you.
I rolled a 12.
Do I roll a stealth check?
Oh, you know where you are. You can like this is just based on your passive perception. When you're still freaking out, but you're beginning to know as you become you're more and more invisible, like spending more time in it, you get more sort of accustomed to it, and everyone's like sort of looking around for you. They're trying to follow your yelps. but you're freaking out, so you're hard to sort of pin down. And just as soon as you get sort of accustomed to it, where you can see more of your body while invisible, so to see more detail, you snap back into visibility.
Well,
Okay.
this seems like a short-term solution.
Do I know anything about invisibility? Like, did this seem like a regular amount of time, like for an invisibility spell, or did it
I
seem
don't
to
think
last
if you
less?
knew,
Yeah.
if you could cast invisibility, or if it was in your class spell list, you would, but you are not certain.
Okay. Also, anybody can make checks to see if during that time that didn't slip on the ring of the ram.
Okay.
Couldn't
I
see anything.
will.
I mean,
I will make that
it's
check.
hard to it'd
Oh.
be at disadvantage because they're invisible.
I
No,
would
I'm saying
say
once
that,
they appear, you know,
Oh.
they once they like while
Perception
they were
check,
invisible,
courage.
they're like, I'm just gonna put this on.
I feel like we've been spending a lot of time on the boat, and so I feel like if I saw you looking at it, I would have just told you to put it on. Like, you need it. Like, it'll help. Yeah. I mean, if we turn something or you go away again, I can cast the remove curse thing again, but I can only do it so often.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
now we know it's not. At least you're pink.
Yep. I mean, is this gonna happen every time? Like, thinking back, like, did this used to happen every time
It
when I cast
used
this
to
spell?
happen very infrequently.
Okay.
Some might even say it had a 1 in 10, a 10% chance of happening whenever you cast a spell. But for some reason, it's becoming more and more frequent. You're not sure why that is. Maybe it's because Lathander loves you the bestest, and
Hey, I mean, this stuff has been pretty helpful, or just neutral.
Yeah, what's the chances you're gonna explode anytime soon?
I don't know, but I really don't want to have remove curse prepared all the damn.
Cast fireball at TPK's party.
Yeah, I'll
Remove
try. I
curse.
mean, I hope I could, not do something that's gonna hurt you guys, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay. Well,
right, so you guys are still trying to figure out Nat's issue, and you're spending more and more time with this Goliath named Bjorn. Is it Bearhand?
Bjorn.
Bearheart, sorry. And you figure out that he's traveling to Goldenfields to take part in their sort of, and I know you said this, but I'm just reiterating for those that might have missed it. He's on the way there to take part, well, not take part, but to partake in their sort of annual fall festival, where they serve a variety of very nice beers. And ales and stouts and what have you.
Evelyn looks at Bjorn and goes, I won the drinking contest in Tribor's summer festival.
Can I just say, it's been like more than a day. Bjorn has been flirting like religiously with everyone.
You're about more than halfway through the trip now.
Oh, then yes, like easily.
At some point during that trip, when Nat is alone, they're gonna like go up to the upper deck of to the boat, just kind of like be in a little like corner, and they're gonna cast some spell, like detect poison and disease,
In the river.
just to see what's gonna happen.
All right.
Oh God.
You see two other gnats come out.
Oh my gosh!
And they are around you, but they're like and when you try to reach out and touch them, they sort of you like can move your hands through them. It's almost like a like a hologram in those sci-fi movies.
So, out of character, what spell was cast?
Mirror image.
Yeah.
I wanna talk to Bjorn. I'll be sitting with him on the boat and be like, "So, have you had the Golden Gulf before?"
Has he? I assume so.
If you spent any time in Goldenfields, it would be the drink of choice. In fact, they supply it to all the Desrin Valley too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you sort of have to ask for it because it's like a more expensive beer.
Off-menu item.
Yeah, it's like a top shelf
Secret
sort of thing.
What I imagine he does is he spends his time working, going around the Sword Coast, ends back up in Goldenfields for Oktoberfest, then goes back working again. It's like, yes, I've had the Golden. It is amazing. One of the best beers they do.
Wow, that's some recommendation. I'll have to get a mug myself then.
It is not always on the menus. You have to mainly ask. It is very prestigious to the town.
All the good stuff is, I assume.
Yes.
I'm
I'm
always
sure they
looking
would
for
not like
something.
to include me on their list, but I am well known, I would like to say, throughout the Sword Coast anyway. Or at least the Deathly Valley.
Well, no.
Rishevi, you have never heard of the name Bjorn Bearheart.
Yeah.
Are you a mercenary or maybe
I-
some kind of?
I'm a gladiator mainly. I fight in arenas, I do some sellsword work as well. I do whatever folly takes my eye. And whichever folly.
All across the Sword Coast, huh?
I go where I can. I
Get a lot of
spend a week
gladiator
at
work.
I spend a week at most, then I have a couple of nights as a relaxation, then I move on to the next town.
I just I don't remember seeing you on any of the usual mercenary groups traveling around.
Again, I mainly do gladiatorial. I do shore combat. I fight with nobles. I have big banquets.
I think about show combat for a second.
If something catches my eye for the mercenary work, I will take on a contract here and there.
Oh, I think I've seen something like this. It was I believe it was called the Jim Dark Magic Experience. Have you seen that in Waterdeep?
How much liberty are we allowed to take with characters from Acquisitions Incorporated?
I would say if it's something that is, I think. Let's see. If you're talking about a romantic or sexual history with Jim Dark Magic, I don't know.
That is entirely what I'm implying.
I don't. Does he swing that way? I know he is attracted to women, but I don't know if he's attracted to men.
Chris said he was pan in a podcast. That's about as much confirmation. I don't think Mike's ever said anything.
Well, yeah, I don't think Mike, he's the one that plays Jim, has ever said anything. I know he's had a relationship with women. So,
According to Moo, definitely into men.
okay.
Yes. I don't think it would be outside the realm of possibilities, though.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be like of course it's Jim Dark Magic, so it's nothing serious. Of course.
A one-night fling.
Oh, exactly the same with Bjorn. Again, Nate, you've read his 4-line bullet point backstory.
Yeah, I saw that your two sisters that you're supporting and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then the rest of it, unimportant. I have had the all access tours, so to say.
Wow. Are you a friend of his?
In some sense of the word, yes. I whenever I make my way down to Waterdeep or wherever he's performing, I try to see if I can pop in and say hello to him.
Wow. Have you ever looked into the company he's a part of?
Have I?
He doesn't really like to bring it up because it's like Omen's thing.
He doesn't. He
Keeps
says
it
that
separate.
he occasionally talks about work, but doesn't like to bring it up that much. We normally talk about our own enterprise, so to say, whenever we meet up.
I understand completely. I don't understand it at all, though.
But he does mention how he performs magic around Waterdeep, and people love to see his shows. He mentions how he's Omen's boss. How there's this guy named Omen who owes him his life and works for him, and does like
Jim Dark Magic?
menial tasks and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, he would totally bring that up. Like you talked about this woman Drawn, the person who works for Jin at the company.
Oh, yeah. He's not our biggest fan.
I daren't say many people are his biggest fan either, judging by the ears on the ground.
See, I let him know that I can get a hold of his boss pretty much. So
I know that I've just clicked on that you're talking about Jin, but Bjorn thinks that you're talking about Omen.
I was talking about Jim.
I know. Bjorn doesn't really care for acting at all.
So, going to Goldenfields again. You said you had family there, but they seemed okay last time you were in contact.
Yes, my sisters. We moved down to Goldenfields eventually after what happened to our village. It seemed a good and a decent enough place to set up. It had decent connections. I could send my money back there when I earned.
Well, we had received some news that things weren't well there. If your services are required, is there a fee, or would you jump in at the ready?
Oh, my friend, there's always a fee.
Well, I'm sure that the city of Goldenfields could work something out.
I was going to say you can infer from that what you can.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure Goldenfields will be very, very pleased. And not just them, may I say. But anyway, I'm sure my sisters will be fine. It takes a lot more than whatever little poisoning is going on to hurt them. We're made of tough versions of life.
Well, let's hope.
Indy's got some Chris.
What? Oh,
Hey, just wonder if you're all right because you were muted for a long time.
I was eating.
Okay. I guess just
I was
making
still-
sure.
I was still listening. I was just eating some chips that are very loud.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you guys want to do on this boat ride before you?
So when I move, do the illusions come with me?
Yeah. So they last for about a minute. And they're following you around. They're basically mimicking everything you're doing.
Yeah, basically, I'm just gonna find Rex. I'm just gonna be like almost in tears, just like, oh, what's going on?
Rex, do you say anything in response?
Is that fine?
Hmm.
He said he was
Oh yeah,
back.
he's back.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
I was just muted for a
Sorry.
second. What was that?
You
Nat,
see
fine.
you see 3 gnats coming toward you.
All crying.
Why is Nat crying?
Because I don't know what's going on. This is so weird.
Oh my god.
Remove
cast
curse if we're not at the thing yet.
Well, you don't need.
What did you try before?
I
This is
removed
me asking
curse.
Evelyn.
I
Well, I
removed
mean,
curse.
I don't think this is a curse. Like this seems like a like.
It's
It
great.
looks like I used a spell before. This one also looks like a spell.
I used detect poison disease first, then I tried to dispel the magic, then I tried to give
When
him a
you
curse.
dispel magic,
and then
that
I-
works. This time.
I haven't done it this time.
Okay.
And then I tried to, so it was detect poison disease, try to assist the magic, try to give him a curse, and then I remove the curse. The remove curse work, and then they turned invisible, and now there's 3 gnats, and I haven't done anything except I haven't done anything. I kind of feel like it's just gonna go away by itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
While it's up, I guess I'll maybe run a detect magic on it. If I
Yeah,
can dig any more into what I've already learned.
I'm not sure if there's anything I could do.
Nat, I really think this is something like, we've already cast a couple things, right? Remove curse and things like that. I think this is something core to you. I think it goes deeper than something that was inflicted upon you.
This is just
That's
who
weird.
you are.
Okay.
I mean, we need to get to the bottom of it, but and I don't think this is something somebody did to you. I think this is just something that's kind of coming out.
I mean, I just like it's all good for now, but I'm not controlling it. So what if something bad happens?
That's a concern. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully, like it didn't happen that often before. Maybe it'll go back down. Oh, well.
While on the boat, Evelyn's pondering about the books and a religious text. And Nat. Like, she's pondering lots of things. Like, there's the conversation thinking about that, and then, like, she's thinking about this book. Because it's not a 3rd book, right?
It is they tried to get Daggerfords, they tried to get Tribors, and they tried to get Yartars as well, I believe.
And they got Yartars, and they got Daggerfords.
Daggerfords. Yes.
Okay. So I think Evelyn would look at Rex and go, you think we can use this? She pulls out her, like, Jim Dark Magic ticket to somehow lure a religious book there and see what he knows, or something magic, something or other. Librarians, holy books, or maybe we should just message all the temples we know.
I mean,
What?
you also got that head in your bag still.
Oh, I would probably do that at some point in this trip too, if we have time.
Why did you say use it to lure a book?
Evelyn's logic, literally. Librarians are going after holy texts. Have it into dark magic. We could set up a trap.
Well, we know that they might go after some kind of text of Chantea right there, probably, right? Or that might be what Rex is thinking.
Do we? Ooh. Evelyn looks at Bjorn.
You just looking at him?
And says, well, she's directing her attention, goes, you're from Goldenfield. Do you know anybody in Goldenfield? Like, religious-wise?
You do. You don't only go over there because it doesn't suit your style, Bjorn. But there is a temple to Chantea. First of all, there's a statue to her as soon as you come in to Goldenfields. It's like 20 feet tall, and it's made out of wood, and it's like this very attractive looking plump woman, and she's got like her hands on her hips, and she's usually like in the middle of like a field of like wheat or whatever the sort of seasonal crop is. But there's also an abbey there. Goldenfields itself is like a monument to Shantea, because she's sort of the goddess of agriculture. In the middle of the city is this abbey, and it's very old and elaborate, and it's built out of stone, and it is the sort of the abbot, the only sort of religious person there, who's also sort of the de facto leader of the town, is named Abbot. Let's see, Abbot Elliot Darovin, and I'll put that in the chat. And the abbey itself is called the Harvest Home Abbey. I had to change the names because once again, Perkins, your names
No, Perkins are great names.
Your names are ridiculous.
They're great names just because you don't like them.
Okay, your names are ridiculous and horrible.
Just
I can
because
blame
you don't
Kate
like
now
them.
too because she works on these books.
I like the names for the record.
Don't be mean to Kate.
We love Kate and
Yeah,
Chris
I
and
actually-
Jeremy and everyone who works with her.
I love them all too. I can still say their naming sense is horrible.
So, yes,
Well, they probably got some
Bjorn knows somebody.
Bible for that kind of stuff.
But yes, you do know that at the very least you know this. I don't think he would have attended any services. So he wouldn't know like the inner workings of the abbey, but you would know at least this.
I think he knows the inner workings, but not the inner workings, so to say.
Well, you know that occasionally druids and other like members of the Emerald Enclave will stop by and talk and or spend time at the abbey. But you don't, as far as like services, service time, what happens in those services, that sort of thing, you don't know that.
Well, I think Bjorn is very accustomed to services happening in the temple.
Stop with sexual innuendo. Okay,
It's a cat,
this is not the
it's
Catholic
like-
Church. Elliot Darovin is a good man.
It's funny. I'm the bard. I should be making these jokes.
Well, I just want Nate to play this character. It's gonna be great.
So, Ava goes, "Can you do you have a way to talk to them from here?"
If you mean by some sort of like divination magic, no, actually, I'm not a magician myself. I am a fighter. I normally communicate to Goldenfields by letter, handing it to the postal services or couriers, whoever sees it.
Do I know anyone in Goldenfield?
I don't think you.
Is there a random paladin of the order or something?
There's no paladin. Like it's a stronghold, so to speak, as in religiously, spiritually, a stronghold of Shantea. So Lathander really doesn't there's no temple to him there. There's no shrine to him there. No priests, no clergy. It's wholly devoted to Shantea.
Evelyn's gonna cast sending and send to her mom. Not her mom, her temple mom.
Oh, the halfling. Let me get her name out. I forgot it. Okay, that is Aurelia Undertree. Okay, I am ready.
Fingers up. Okay.
Well, I'll say to Rex, it seems like if these texts are, the focus of these attacks. We're on our way to Goldenfields, but it would behoove us to find out if there's anything like that in Long Saddle and in Ampvale as well. Maybe try to get a leg up on those locations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing, y'all.
Well, Goldenfields we're going to now. That's not my issue. The issue is that the other places, if they do have temples to gods, then if we could get messengers or hirelings sent out or something like that, might be
Ye-
help curtail.
Yeah. And actually, so I guess I could write back to home office and kind of ask them to send that out. But we also, I mean, that's kind of what the secretarian can do as well, right?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. If I don't think Kex is here though.
I will write it back, so I'll get my documentation
Yeah.
ledger out
So
and I'll write it back. Just to head office, because it's kind of like a two-step process, but it's more official, I guess,
yeah,
versus
they would
just
inform
communicating
you.
with the other
They
branches.
head office would inform you of Acquisitions Incorporated branches operating in those areas, so to
Uh-huh.
speak. But they wouldn't like put you in contact with them. That would be Cax's job.
Right. Well, if
We all look
possible,
at Cax.
yeah, we get Kex to do that.
Yeah. That would be great.
And I gotta think of letters now. CBA. Well, he said you could double
L
up.
for
He
long
said you.
saddle.
He said you could double. Jerry said you could double up, but I'm trying not to for this. Our campaign canon. Let's see.
Do you think there'd be contention between the W and the W teams?
I
Yeah.
think so.
I'm sure there's some strange rivalry there. They probably would have staffed them either right next to each other, knowing Hack Inc., or as far away from as possible from each other. One or
Yeah,
the
it
other.
wouldn't just be random.
But I feel like Omen would staff them like the
They
next
could all be a
village
super
over.
group and then
Yeah,
just
you probably would just for it to be funny.
They
a
find the
While
super group
friendship
while
and be
we're
with
like
on
each
a
other.
W.
while we're on that topic, though, I'll bring that you make a good point. The past couple places we've gone, we've been distracted by some kind of you know barely related issue, and then while we're distracted, they're hitting the the um the divine book, and I
Well, they're
think we need to
directly
change.
related.
No, they are, but they seem to be like not related at all, and then we spend our time solving that problem while they're getting a leg up on us
Stealing.
against the book.
Almost like
So
some person is overseeing this.
no, I mean it's clearly a concerted and organized effort by the librarians, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is we need to approach it a little differently moving
Yeah,
forward.
look beyond the immediate solution into what might be
Right,
what might have
Yeah.
happened.
We need to
exactly.
look deeper.
We need to look deeper. We need to dig deeper.
Yeah. What if we know that we're gonna try and complete the task. We know we're gonna complete the task, then we're gonna come back and the book's gonna be gone. So how do we get around that? How do we complete the task while
We start with the book.
do we take the book? I mean, how do we convince
We
them
steal
to
the book first.
That's the only way to keep it safe.
The only way to keep it safe.
No, I
Yeah,
think we need
then-
to fool whoever's after the book into thinking that we're out solving the problem that they caused to distract us. I don't know.
I guess once we know what the problem is, we can devise a
We,
plan from there.
yeah, we need to
Yeah.
spring the trap without leaving.
Yeah, getting us out of town was definitely the main thing, but
Mm-hmm.
like they're whereas they sort of went up and took it in Tribor, they could have done something more secretive in Yartar. So there's definitely a lot of ways they could have gone at this, and we'll have to try to do our best to stay a step ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
One
we
step.
steal it first. We become the bad guys. Yes.
We pull a heist on ourselves is what I think you want to
Yeah.
do. Anyway,
We have to erase our own memories, and
God, they could
we
be
have to.
using detect thoughts, and we wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
I assume by your questions about the church and this line of conversation, you want something in the church, yes?
Bjorn, when did you get here?
I have been sat here the whole time.
Oh
You
my!
just
How did
ignored
we not
me.
notice you? You're
You didn't
enormous.
say you were talking away from Bjorn. You were just talking to him.
Just sipping like a cup of tea while we're talking.
Oh no,
No,
it's
just like just staring at you guys and dipping the tea
Which
bag.
is funny because
Mm.
he's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
You
no matter
somehow
what
missed
time
him.
of day it is, he's on some sort of alcohol.
Oh.
Puts bourbon in it.
Do you? Is there any kind of alcohol that goes with tea? I hate alcohol. Okay.
Irish
That's a big
tea,
fat mood.
Sure.
so whiskey.
Say, are they the kind that like puts alcohol in their drinks to like attempt to conceal it, or are they just like
I know,
drinking
beyond
it
it,
all
he's
day?
just have like it's like a pint of like better probably. Just I am still here. You never like left when you had your private conversation between your partners.
Well, they didn't say it was
I
private. They just said they just started talking about it immediately after they talked to you.
yeah. Then they're like, "Well, were you still here?" It's like I. So he assumed it's a private. I
I
have
didn't leave when we were talking
certain.
about secret stuff.
I have certain ways to get into the church. The less people that know about them would be the better. But if it helps you, sure, why not? You guys are going to help out Goldenfields. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
I mean,
Wouldn't
you
you
would
want us
know
to
as
help you
well
then?
that I'm reading from the PDF. So give me a second. You would know that he does lead prayer services in the Abbey. Um, quite often, you would hear the bells when you stayed for a day or two. Attendance isn't mandatory, so but most workers do take a break from their chores at least once a day to attend a prayer service. But he holds prayer services at 9, noon, 3 p.m., and 6 p.m.
That's a lot of church.
I mean, it's only about an hour long, so it's not like if that. He's just leading people in prayer.
That's a lot of church.
I
4 hours.
when you're literally in a shrine, your whole town is a shrine to Shantae, you kind of, you do what you do.
That's even more church.
This is D&D. Like the church actually does stuff.
Yeah, it's not
Gods
like
actually exist.
yeah.
Yeah.
All becomes a Redwall camp.
I just
Redwall?
assume.
Did I just hear the word Redwall? Because that was my thing back in elementary school.
I always imagined Goldenfields to be kind of Redwall inspired.
I love Redwall. I need to reread those books.
I mean, most of the time they're trying to keep out rats, so maybe not.
Well, rats, of course, but mice.
They like owls, though.
Owls are scary.
All you need is
Right.
badgers and you win.
Yeah,
Can you guys
badgers.
hear me?
No, they
chewing,
hate
by the
badgers
way?
too because they dig up they make burrows
No.
and in the fields and stuff. They don't like them.
With like foxes, then.
Yeah, they like foxes. They like.
Did they?
Well, I'm saying like they would, as long as the foxes aren't digging in the fields, they would like them because they keep out the vermin.
Oh.
But they like owls. They like other birds of prey.
Cats.
Um,
Yeah, they're the evil, the villains.
Snakes.
Yeah,
snakes not so
are
much
really
because they
nice
might
Redwall.
accidentally bite a worker. So
In Vietnam, they keep like pythons,
Oh, what
or
was the snake's name?
constrictors around in the rice fields.
Asmodeus.
Oh my god. Full circle.
Yeah. I assume Bjorn has some way into most major habited places in the city by now.
I mean, Goldenfields is like the Abbey is sort of a large. It's like at the top of a hill, and it's sort of like not really many people inhabit it, but people are always welcome to walk the halls, walk the grounds. How long has it been since you've been back to Goldenfields? Is it just once a year, or do you get back?
He's probably trying to think minimum once a year, depending on how noticeable his other activities has been.
Okay.
Might increase that frequency.
They got some new residents recently, but you wouldn't know about that then.
Ooh. So, yeah.
Yeah, some things recently happened, which we'll get into when we actually get there. But you wouldn't know that since you haven't been back. But yeah, so that's what you can try to formulate a plan. But you sort of discover this as you're sort of stepping off of the ferry. You still have a couple miles to go to get to Goldenfields, but it's not very far. It'll take you at most an hour.
Let's get going then.
Yeah. I'm assuming Indy, as well as Rashemi, take their usual place at the driver's sort of seat in the cart.
Yep.
Nat riding Ukman.
Mm-hmm.
The rest inside. I don't know if they did not build the cart to accommodate Goliath individuals. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you would fit or not.
You must be this short to ride this cart. He could trot along beside.
Yeah, but it's not a far walk, and your stride is fairly large.
Yeah.
So it's like a pleasing stroll.
He used to walking it.
And you guys are coming up on this city, or this town rather, Goldenfields, and you see that a number of things. Sort of Rex, you're estimating, but it sort of confirms what you've read in your books about Waterdeep and the surrounding areas and towns. It looks to be like a walled, essentially giant farm that covers, you would guess at this, maybe 20 square miles. In the center of town are a number of structures, and so so these are probably where people live, and stuff like that. You also see some other taller buildings to the north of the town proper, as well as the town's edges. You see some things that are troubling to you. It's called Goldenfields because it grows a lot of wheat and other things there, but the color wheat turns when it's ready for harvest is golden. But this is not. It is no longer. It would be a sham to call it Goldenfields now. More like brown, deserted fields. You see that there are numerous fields that sort of sectioned off, maybe because they're intent on growing different crops in each one, but you see that all of them are sort of brown and dead and devoid of life, and if there is anything remaining there, it's only the husks of plants. And there's a few lonely-looking grain silos that tower over the surrounding desolate fields.
Spooky.
Okay. I'll yeah, guys, something's up. There should be people here.
Now, there are people here, but you don't see them working the fields.
Yeah, I'm addressing the fields when I'm saying that. These fields, there's something wrong. They're not in the fields. They're we need to figure it out. And I think we should start, you know, unless we see something else pressing, we should start by heading to the local holy site.
Nat is going to very cautiously use detect poison and disease again on these plants.
You have to get a little bit closer. Because you're sort of seeing this at a distance.
I
You're
thought we were
coming,
in the fields. Okay, then yeah.
yeah, you're coming into the town. Like you're seeing this at a distance as you're approaching the town.
Gotcha. Okay, so once we get there.
Yeah. Upon entering the town, you do see a large, 20-foot tall wooden statue of Chantea. There's a sign underneath it that says "Earth Mother's Bounty." Bjorn did comment that there's usually like wheat or flowers or some sort of crop growing at this statue's feet, but you see none of that here. It's just like dirt, and on the dirt you see maybe what looks to be some sort of offering to Chantea, but they're paltry at best, and they litter the statue's feet in the surrounding area, and they're sort of old and decayed and dried as well. So there's no really evidence of anything growing around the statue's feet.
That seems sketchy.
Rashemi will go and say a small prayer at Chantea's feet and probably lay some rations out as like an offering. And be like, wow, these offerings are measly. Definitely not something the Earth Mother would smile upon. Can we see the Abbey from here?
You can't, because it's sort of most of the town itself is like is sort of a squat one-story buildings. The Abbey is sort of built on a hill. To the, I believe it's the south. Let me actually give you the map. To the southeast of the town itself. So you're coming here at G1. Oh, I'm on draw. You're coming in at G1 here. No, I got rid of all my text. It is a sad, sad time for me.
Oh no.
They'll never be the same.
Okay. Real quick. I think I remember. G1's where you're coming in. G1 is the statue of Chantea. That is called Earth Mother's Bounty.
Are these walled fields?
So around the whole city is walled. The fields themselves in between each field are not walled.
No, I know, but like the fields are within the outer walls.
Yes,
It's
it
crazy.
is a walled city.
Yeah, I've never seen.
G5, I don't know what that is inconsequential. G6, the town proper. South of the town, you see like a small forest there. G7 is the abbey. It's on a sort of a small hill, so it's sort of over the town. Off in the distance, far to the north, you guys can see what looks to be, which actually Bjorn will point out, is the brewery itself. That's at G9. And behind the brewery is a sort of stone tower, and that is the guard's tower, called the Dragon's Spire.
Ooh.
It's made of sword dragon.
There is a backstory
It's a
behind that,
little
but it's not important.
ostentatious.
There's a story behind that, but it's not important.
They made it back in the olden days to capture the dragons.
Did they?
Back before those damn Imperials took over Skyrim.
It is very Skyrim why they call it that. The abbey should be called, I'll put it in there again, it's Harvest Home Abbey, I think. Yeah. I want to get proper names so you guys can refer to them as such. And then at the far end of the town, sort of to the northeast, you see a 3-story structure. It looks to be some sort of inn or tavern. And that is North Furrow's End.
I look wantingly at it, but I know we need to keep going.
But the rest of it is pretty much fields or grain silos. That's what these G4s are, grain silos. But yeah.
And I'm sorry, you said we came in at G2, but we were
You came in
at
at G1.
G3? G1. Okay.
And sorry, G3 technically would be where the statue is, but you know,
Okay.
it's pretty much the same spot.
Is all this? This is all the civilian infrastructure.
Yeah, pretty much this is where everyone lives, and they go out to the fields to work, or they go to the brewery to work.
Okay.
So like the G13s, those are fields.
Yes. Well, they're numbered different numbers for what they grow, but I think
G11, the best field.
I can look and see if you want me to. G11 is rice paddies.
It's also an assault rifle.
G13 would be wheat.
I want to live here.
So
Yeah,
while
that's pretty-
when we go past it, can I cast the detect poison and such?
Yeah, detect poison.
So detect poison disease.
I'm getting the text to see what this gives you.
Gotcha.
Within
Can I
30
just do
feet.
this?
So you don't get that. How would this parse? It's it is how would this be? It's let's see. It is give me I want to do a check for this too, because this is something different. A little bit. You can give me, what would this be? Alright, I'll just give you this. It's not so much a, so when you put your hand out, it's like a, the soil, it's almost as if the soil has turned bad. Because it's sort of permeating the soil.
But it's not like a disease or poison.
It's not a, it's yeah, you're not certain exactly what's, like, I know it says, you do, but this is, it's not a disease.
Magic.
It's more like this is more like a poison, not a disease.
It does say identify the kind of poison.
Yeah, it's, you're not certain. This isn't, I mean, as part of this spell, you would have studied certain poisons so you could identify them, casting the spell on them, so you can see which one. So, because similar to detect magic, it's a certain hue of color. This is not like any of those you've seen. It's a very bright. It's very dull green.
And I'm going, and it's it's appearing everywhere. Like on
It is.
all
It is very. It's
all
like
fields.
in the soil almost.
Okay.
So Aveling just asked.
Yeah,
should
medicine
we do a
check on the
medicine check?
ground. Medicine's more for its living things. But I would allow, as far as finding out, what are you trying to find out with your medicine check? Because I'm not automatically opposed to this idea, but I'm just trying to figure out what you're trying to figure out what you want to figure out from this check. Does anyone have a background? Are they from an agricultural town? Is there a farmer background in D&D?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Bjorn's village would have had agriculture, as little as you can get at 20,000 feet.
I mean, did he take part in it though?
Probably not. His sisters probably did.
They might have more.
Well, his eldest probably. The eldest probably did.
If it's just so I'll give you this on the plant, on the husks, not on the ground itself, Aveline. It looks like they dried up due to a lack of water, or maybe that's what it seems. We'll medicine check first. I kind of did something out of character, or got ahead of myself. This would probably also be like a nature check, but I'll allow it.
What is nature if not plant medicine?
I know. That's what I mean. But nature would be more appropriate. That's what I'm saying. I'm allowing medicine. I just need to check.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's definitely, though it looks like the plants are not getting enough water because you're just like, even things that should have like deep roots and stuff like that, you're just pulling them out, no trouble. It's just like there's like nothing there.
Now, so with the detect poison disease, that's like it's just saying that it's coming from the. It's not like I can't. Like if I start digging into the ground, I don't find like a vein of it that's leading somewhere, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's either they're not getting water or it's something to do with what your job request was, that the water's gone bad. But it's definitely something with water.
Oh, I should. Let's go check. I'll go check the water for poison.
So there's like numerous irrigation, sort of things set up throughout town, but you look, those are all dry.
They probably emptied it when they decided it was bad. So let's go see if they have it held up somewhere, and then
Yeah.
we can scan it.
Bjorn would know the source, which would be at G10, but you'd have to sort of go through town and everything like that. So
I can purify a bit of it, but I mean it will.
So it's up to you guys.
So
I
I
think-
just assume Bjorn is heading towards his sister's place.
Yeah,
Or
they
whether
also
he set them up.
they also do have livestock here as well. They're not just crop specific. Yeah, you can head towards. So I didn't know you were going to RP that your sisters were living in Goldenfields. So what are their personalities? If
I don't know.
if you want me to RP them, or like, are you a middle child? Well, you're the oldest. You said.
He's the oldest. Yeah, the other, they're both younger.
Okay. I don't have a sister, so I can't. This is hard for me. If this was a brother, it'd be good. Okay. Yeah. So you're just headed towards where your sisters are.
Yeah.
All right. So you pass by this forest to the south of the town. The trees there look all sickly. All the leaves, like normally you would expect to see. It's turning into fall, but it's not quite in full swing yet. and this far south, close to Waterdeep, the leaves would just be beginning to fall. But here it's like all the leaves are gone, and it's just bare trees and tree limbs. You do see, sort of peering through the trees themselves. Give me a perception check.
Oh, perception.
Is this just for anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Nat, you see at the center of the forest what looks to be a very old and ancient tree. As far as you know, it is the only one with leaves still on it, but they're all brown. But they're staying on it.
Well, I guess I'll, point it out to everybody and say, yeah, I guess we should head over there while my detect poison's still up, so might as well. I doubt we're gonna get any information.
And it's by the Abbey, correct?
So the Abbey is G7. I'll try to type this real quick on. I didn't realize text counted as drawings, but what can you do?
Farthest abstract you can describe an item is with the written word. What song is that, Bjorn?
Well, that's just you from because no one was saying it.
Oh, it's because
I like that song.
I made them objects. I didn't make them part of the map itself. That's why I did it. Maybe. That's what I did for Waterdeep. I didn't do it for this one. Alright. That should hopefully give you guys a sense of stuff. Oh, I forgot that in.
Where's the tree that you were talking about? It's like in the middle of that little foresty area.
One sec. The tree is right there. It doesn't have a number, that's why I didn't name it, but it's right in the middle of this forest.
All right. So going over the tree, it doesn't. I'm not getting anything different.
Oh, you're going over the tree. I thought you were going into town. You're going over the tree.
Check by the tree real quick. I doubt I'm going to get anything from
So
it.
as you approach, you actually hear a voice. And it seems to come from the tree.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa. I have not felt this way in hundreds of years. Who are you?
I'm Nat Rosewood.
I'm Indy.
Does everybody else hear this?
If anyone else is around, then yes, they hear it.
Okay, I didn't know. Like, is it like an actual sound or is it a telepathy?
No, it is speaking somehow.
Okay, gotcha.
Are you
The whorls and the way its bark sort of the grain of it, it almost looks like it has a face.
Pocahontas.
Okay.
Do you paint with the colors of the wind?
I don't,
Are you a spirit friend?
How would he
talking
respond to
tree.
that? I'm trying to see. No, he would say, well, I can't really paint. I don't have hands.
That's a shame.
Yeah, hands are nice. Maybe that's the root of your problems.
Oh,
Take it.
You hear a oh, oh, oh. It sounds more like bark creaking, but it appears to be his laugh.
Do you often talk?
I've been able to talk ever since I was awakened.
When was that?
It
About
thinks.
20 minutes ago.
There's a pregnant pause, and it's like, I'm not certain. I
Isn't
can't remember.
like is it like a years or days or weeks type thing? You know?
Many seasons ago.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
do you
and I
have a
mean,
name?
Goldenfield hasn't been poisoned for that long, so we know that this isn't because of that.
Yeah. Do you have a name?
My name is Liferlas. I'll put that in. What is yours?
I will do a little bow and say, well met, Lifernos. I am Rashemi.
Is there any kind of check that I could do to learn about what this is?
A nature check.
Yeah. I was worried you would say that. Not bad. It's
That's
16.
pretty good. So you have heard tales.
For me, that's real good.
You've heard tales, though you haven't actually seen one in person. You've heard tales of, especially among, you don't really usually consort with druids, but you have heard tales of, from some of the few druids you happen to meet. They talk about stuff. They talk about trees a lot, and plants, and animals, and how they can sort of either speak to them or interact with them in certain ways. And you heard like a while back that there are certain druids that are able to awaken trees, is the term they used, where basically it turns it into a sentient creature, but it still has the limitations of a tree.
Gotcha.
That kind of sucks.
It's not so bad.
I'm back, y'all.
Welcome back.
Come meet the tree.
I've been listening. I hear the
You
tree.
can say hello.
You travelers here to help with the water.
Yes, we are.
What is the tree said so?
Good.
Oh, real quick, do I detect this poison on the tree? Like, does he seem negatively affected?
Yes, but it's very faint.
Gotcha.
Can I?
And yes, we will. We're gonna help you however we can.
Nate, I'm assuming my sending didn't go off then.
Who are you sending to?
I was sending to Australia before
Yeah,
I had a problem.
what did you put it in Discord or?
No, I hadn't gotten that. I was formulating and then I had to run off because I got
Okay, what did you want to say?
oh gosh. Librarian struck again. Message. Long Saddle. Goldenfields. Amphil. Warn about holy texts tell them to be prepared?
So
That's like less than 25 words.
yeah. Back you'll say Anthale will be easy. Others not so much. No no temples / followers of Lathander there that I know of.
Okay, and I did that when we were still in the boat, when we still had travel time.
Yep.
Cool. Just making sure. I'm trying to like align my spells for the day.
Lefferlos, do you know anything about this poison affecting the land here?
He'll say John Dea blessed this place with an underground water source. Feeds everything. Something happened. Water tastes bad.
Have we seen the water source yet?
You
Or
have
any
not.
water? Is there like places for water?
There's irrigation, but they're all dry.
Can I fix that?
I assume they
you'd have to
clogged
go to
it
the
up
source to do it.
stop bad water from getting to the plants.
I can't just create water.
Yeah, you can if you have it prepared and.
Yeah, I have it prepared.
And so you're just making a big old thing of water and splash it on this tree.
No, I'm gonna go to like one of the irrigation places. Like, is there like a holding tank or something?
So it's more like it's designed to. How would it be like? So there's a spring, sort of in the northern / like a northern / central part of town. My town, I mean Goldenfields, not where people live. That's sort of their water source. It's where this underground water or lake, whatever, what have you, sort of manifests itself on the surface, and they have built irrigation ducts from that out.
Okay, and where is the tree in relation to that?
The tree is right here.
Yeah, we're pretty far south.
Okay, so we're talking a tree. Cool. I just trying to get the lay of the land.
How much water can you make with create food and water?
Quite a bit, right?
Not enough to water the entire town.
It's definitely not enough to water all these fields and the livestock.
Well, I'm talking about create is 10 gallons of clean water.
Okay, so not enough.
I can purify water.
So can I. I have all that prepared.
Well, we'd
I
have
do
to
not
get
have
to-
detect
It's
poison.
not very much water. I got detect poison. I got that running for a bit.
I heard. That's why it wasn't prepared.
Lifferlos, is there any way to get to this water from inside or outside the town? This river.
For that he says, I do not know. Not all of Shantaea's mysteries have been revealed to me.
Can I insight check the tree to make sure it's like not evil and not causing the.
Oh my gosh.
It would be
This
difficult.
tree is already my best friend. How dare?
It would be very difficult because you're not used to trees talking or tree body language.
Yes.
So it'd be a disadvantage. But you can try.
I like it. 11.
You think this tree is pretty
This tree's
honest.
perfectly great.
You've never met a tree that's lied to you before.
That's true.
How long ago did this start, Clifford? You must know better than anyone in town.
He says, time is different for me.
I see.
And then he's trying to think of a way. He says, it's almost like he's thinking. He says 1, but he's counting now. He's like 1, 2, and he says 20 sons. No, wait, it'd be more than that. He would say 30 sons ago.
Wow.
The water, he says, the water from the soil started tasting bad.
The water, does it flow underneath town, or is it in a pool beneath town?
Can I use my amulet of Lathander to cast Lesser Restoration on and end the poison condition?
Yeah, you can.
Because the creature's technically a creature, right?
Yes. When you do, he gives like a content sigh, and he says, thank you. You are most kind. The abbot has not been by today yet for my daily cleansing.
Well, I guess we should. Well, that abbot sounds knowledgeable. I guess we should go and talk to him, huh?
We should talk to the abbot. Interest. Wait. Lefarius, you said this. They every.
You kind of cut out there.
Every day he gets this thing done.
Yes, it's why I've managed to survive.
Are they also protecting you from the poison for a little bit or no?
He says, as an awakened tree, I can be more selective in how I receive food and water. It says, due to this, I've been able to outlast most of my brothers and sisters.
But you're still taking in poison water.
He says, yes. I met a sailor once.
Casting of a sailor?
He mentioned the ocean to me. It's like you're always thirsty and surrounded by water. But it is poison to you. You can't help but eventually drink.
So I guess we need. Well, long story short, we need to end up heading to this underground river or water source of some kind, and you know, figure out what's polluting it. But we also can't just ignore the whole book situation.
Yeah, going to the abbey's next thing we should do. But Liferless, once again, is the water below the town Is it rushing through like a river, or is it just a spring of water from beneath?
So, basically, it looks like there's irrigation all over the place, and he would say, it's. He's trying to think. He says, not river, more like. He says, what was the question again? I'm sorry. I'm trying to formulate his response.
Just if it was like it's an underground river that's feeding the town, or if it's just the spring coming up from groundwater.
He says, not certain.
Well, okay.
My
Let's get to
roots
that,
do
Abby.
not go that deep.
I see. All right. Anyone else wanted to ask something of good old Lifferloss?
I don't think
Thank
so.
you.
I do hope you'll be able to help this town. Thank you. And it was an honor to meet another one blessed such as you. And it looks like there's like a slight creak, and it's almost like he's bowing to you, Nat.
Bowing to Nat?
Yes.
Oh wait. Blessed by who?
He says, strange, you do not know.
Yeah, I don't.
Can you not feel the raw call of nature
I mean,
in
I guess a little.
everything you do? It is there like I sense it like a stream just beneath the surface. It reminds me of those that often visit the Abbey.
Oh, I see. So I guess I should talk to them? Yeah. Is there anything else you could tell me about this?
He says, it reminds me, but it is different.
Oh.
I have not felt this way in some time.
Sick.
Not since I was first awakened.
All right. That tries to think, which is not their specialty. Yeah. I guess I'll be back if I can think of anything else.
He says, I would love to talk to you. Any of you again. Collect stories for the children.
You said it was like a stream underneath. Do you know how I can make it not underneath? Like be able to control it?
I do not know. I am a tree, not well versed in these. How would he say? He would say, not well versed in he would say not well versed in the wild magics.
Wild magic? Like, would Nat know anything about wild magic?
Gym wild magic.
If Rex is here, he can make another Arcana check. Nat
Nat.
probably wouldn't.
I don't.
I don't think
Oh.
he is. Ooh, 24.
All right, wild magic. Is basically sort of a how would I phrase this? It's sort of underlying it's very chaotic in nature, and so it's primarily found in very old beings that predate creation or are innately very powerful, old, and chaotic in nature. So basically, it would have to come from. Wild magic is usually not sourced in a person. They usually can't cast it at will. It would have to come from a different plane of existence that's more chaotic than this ordered prime material plane. Something like the far realm, limbo, an elemental plane, or the Feywild.
All right, I'll relay that and ask Nat, have you traveled the plains? Have perhaps the Feywild? Like, is there any relevant event in your past that might explain some of this? I went originally with heritage and maybe your parents, but maybe this is something that you
I mean,
came
it could be
across.
that. I never know. Is it all right if I just make an intelligence check to see how much Nat would remember?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Not much. Okay. Well, I mean, if you're talking about the Feywild, obviously, I know Oakman is Fey, and I could speak Sylvan, which is the language of the Fey, right? But I don't know why.
Yeah. Are you thinking this or are you saying this?
I'm saying this.
Okay.
So you don't know where you even learned Sylvan.
I wasn't taught it. I know that.
You just know it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
When I was a little kid.
yeah, that's telling right there. You bring about Oakman. Did you meet Oakman before you started this using the
No.
incantation?
No. Find Steed, it just calls upon a spirit from another plane, which then takes the form of an animal. So Ookman isn't actually an elk. Ookman is just a spirit.
Yeah,
in
what
the
I mean
form
is
of an
more like, did Ookman have any significance prior to being able to?
I'd never
with
seen
that.
Ookman. I'd never seen Ookman before having
Okay.
summoned. I'd never seen a creature like him.
Huh. I think we still need more information. I don't know. There's some event in your life tied this to you that would cause this. I mean, the tree recognized you as gifted.
Well,
From what he was describing, he said what he's seen in her is like a druid, but not. It's something maybe like similar.
Druid adjacent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But he described it as raw and more primeval.
That was a great TV show.
I don't know.
Oh, Nat's just gonna put some time into thinking about their past. Kind of fall silent for a bit.
And he said this as in parting. So are you leaving Liferlas and going someplace else?
Yeah, to the Abbey.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So you're cresting this hill. I mean, probably getting back in the cart, cresting this hill. What did you decide your name of your horse? I forget. I need to draw up a handout with your cart and it's your new horse name and what everything your cart has on it. But I keep on forgetting.
We've
Golden
got a
horse.
new horse.
They did. They got a new cart and horse for winning a cart race.
But what about apples?
Apples is still there. They did not consign him to a gluey, sticky
We didn't
death.
name the.
Apples is best boy.
Named him. We named him Nathan. I thought.
Absolutely not.
No, that would
I
just
do
get
occasionally get
confusing
DM veto powers. This is one of them.
You know, that's confusing for me. It's too close.
Rashemi just calls it horse.
We didn't name it.
Yeah, I think he called it horse in his native tongue. It was just
Yeah.
like,
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Horse is in that. Everyone thinks it's a really adorable name.
Say if you're all headed to the temple, Bjorn was like, surely you can wait before doing this. I need to get back into the ocean. You can wait. I have some very important people to show you while we are here.
Evelyn
Does
wants to
that
get to the
include the
temple.
Abbey?
Yeah, the Abbey can come later. There's only a few minutes walk from where we're going to be. It's on the way.
Actually, we need to get to the Abbey sooner rather than
Yeah,
later.
we should get there, warn them of the book at the very least. Then
Mm-hmm.
how old are your sisters, Bjorn?
I was thinking like 12, 13-ish.
Okay, got it. I got this. Hopefully, we'll see. I gotta channel my tween girl that
Not that hard.
I've never experienced because I'm a sister or daughter. So
I was gonna say if we don't go there straight away, they can always ambush on the way down.
normally in the normal scenario, like if everything in Goldenfields was operating normally, that might be the case, but you know, there's something's wrong here. So you guys are headed towards the Abbey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're cresting the hill and you see this very ancient but elaborate stone structure. You see sort of, not in the abbey itself, but sort of on the lawn surrounding on the hill, you see this very old looking man. And he's sort of handing out food to this line of people. And it starts at the base of the hill and sort of winds its way up. He's handing out food and water, looks like. And there's a halfling woman that's sort of assisting him. She's only a speck really at this distance, but yeah, that's what you see currently.
okay, so thinking back about the food that's dying, do I think that a purified food and drink might not work on them because they themselves have not been poisoned? Rather, they just become malnourished.
This old and dead sort of plant material, probably it won't restore life. But he is a priest, so he has divine magic at his beck and
I'm
call.
saying me. Like, could I gather up any of this, use it, and give them food?
If you found where they're keeping this poisoned food, probably.
Okay, but like the stuff like we found, that's
all
that's
dried and dead from lack of water.
Okay. Okay, then yeah. I mean, unless anybody else had.
Does it look like they've cast create food and water?
It looks like it'd be hard to tell at this distance.
Like while they're heading up, Bjorn would take a few steps back and split up some of his money in his gold pouches.
You do see your sisters waiting in line here.
Yeah. I think I've got a thing that he wants to do.
But
so
they don't.
He's just.
They don't like. They don't notice you because they're kind of like they're kind of like talking to each other and like occasionally fighting or wrestling with each other, that sort of thing.
You would totally sneak up on them.
As soon as you try to cut the line, so to speak, a woman appears. She sort of jumps down from the wall surrounding the abbey and says, "Wait your turn. You'll get everyone, Father, or she said Abbot." I'm messing her impact. Abbot Darevin has prepared enough food and water for everyone. There's no need to cut in line.
Do I recognize who this is?
You said you haven't been here in a year, right? You would not recognize this. You would not recognize this woman then.
I'm just.
You would recognize the halfling in the distance, but not this woman.
I am just trying to say hello to my sisters. I have no intention of cutting in.
She sort of narrows her eyes at you and just like motions for you to go help with your chin, but she's like watching you.
Yeah, he would just again try to sneak up on the sisters.
Give me a stealth check.
So I have to get out of bed. Using VoIP in bed because my phone's reaching for my computer.
Hey, you really said you literally said I want you to sneak up on them. That is a stealth check. I mean,
So
I'm gonna give them it's wisdom based, right? Are giants naturally wise? Or sorry, Goliaths.
I don't have a plus to it.
So let's say at most maybe a +1. So I'll give it d20 +1.
Am I at disadvantage, or would it not make sense if you're wearing his armor?
If you're wearing a breastplate, so you're good, right?
Breastplate is disadvantage, yeah.
Breastplate does not confer disadvantage.
Not bad.
All right, you're very sneaky for a Goliath, but sneaky for a Goliath is still like thud, thud, thud.
Yeah.
For everyone else. So, but your sister's hearing, even while they're sort of like arguing amongst themselves and talking and stuff like that, is enough to hear that, and they sort of hear you coming, and they turn around and see you, and their faces sort of light up when they see you, and they say, "Bjorn!" And they sort of, both in unison, they cry this out, and they sort of run to meet you, but along the way they're like shoving and kicking each other, like to get for one of them to get there first.
Yeah.
Let's see, their names are
Anya and Talia.
Anya and Natalia. Let's see. D1 will be for Anya and a D2 for Natalia. Anya gets there first, and Anya's the younger one. Maybe she's a bit more fleet of foot due to her slightly smaller frame, but she manages to slip out of her sister's grasp and just like attempt to tackle you, but it's like a jump tackle. It's like you're meant to catch her. She's not trying to knock you down.
Yeah, he would just like catch. He would just scoop them both up in a big hug. Girls, how have you been? It's been so long since last I saw you.
Now I have to do a female Russian accent, don't I?
Well, that right there is adorable.
He says, yes, Bjorn, this is horrible. It's been... For those watching, you'll see me trying to test out this because I didn't realize to be doing a Russian accent this early. Anya will say, Da, we did not expect you to be home so soon.
Well, sometimes work dries up, you have to move around, and I was moving down this way anyway. I come back every year for the festival. I came down a bit early, it's just how things worked out.
And when you mention the festival, you do notice that her face clouds a little bit. She says, but there is not going to be a festival.
Is there any set time for the festival to happen, or is it just...
It happens at harvest time, like at the end of harvest time. So that's generally because this is like a shrine to Shantae and everything's constant and steady here due to her blessing. It is pretty much within a day or two, like every year, the same day.
Yeah. And is that close? Is there like
that
a fortnight?
You would expect, you would expected them for it to happen in like maybe 2 or 3 days from now.
Do not worry, girls. There is always time, even if we start the festival late. I have found some new friends that are sort of some adventurers I've met on the ferry down. They seem to have some interest in what's going on here. I'm sure that myself and them will help sort everything out.
So they're looking over your shoulder at the rest of Team Soteria, and Natalia says, but they are so small. How will they help?
Not everyone can be as big as us. We are big, strong, we're cut from the stone of the mountains itself. Not everyone can be as blessed as we are.
I don't think I'm that small.
These girls are each how tall is everyone in the group? They're definitely taller than Nat.
4'5".
They're about 6 feet each.
Oh my gosh.
That's the same height as Freya.
And they're not full grown. That's why they're calling you small.
That is.
I've got Anya who jumped up a bit. Was it Nate?
But yeah, and they say, well, I guess small creatures do have their uses. They say small people. They won't call you creatures. They're not that rude. I guess smaller people do have their uses. They can get into places we can't.
Yeah, it was Anya that jumped up.
Yes, Anya did.
Yeah, he would just like pick her up and just put her on his shoulders, hold her wrists, and sit her there. They seem competent enough, despite the weird magic mishaps that seem to be happening. They seem to be acting. They seem to be strong. They seem to have some affiliation with that wizard I met down in Waterdeep. They work for his company.
They're still eyeing you guys warily.
How close are we to the actual
so the line has been moving at a fair clip because it's just him, and he has the halfling helping him. He's handing out food, and the halfling is handing out the water. And it's like a take it and go process.
Well, maybe we should just wait until they're done with this.
You guys are the end. There's no one behind you.
Bjorn would walk up with the girls with him up to Father. Is it Father? Is it
What's the general nomenclature?
I think his rank is technically abbot, but
Does the lady stop us if we walk up?
oh yeah, she looks like Rashemi. She's like here to keep the peace, sort of.
Yeah.
She's very
Can I
regal.
can I
But
talk to her in halfling?
so this woman is stopping you is not halfling. There's a halfling with the abbot at the head of the line. This is a human woman.
If we
Okay.
show the Akink
You say-
emblem, does that work?
Oh, yeah, that'd work.
She the emblem itself wouldn't mean much to her. If you procured the document, the job request,
Yeah.
that might be
Oh.
different though.
Poof.
There you go.
Can I take out my coin of decisionary?
Yeah.
And can somebody roll me a d8?
She looks over the document and looks at you and like squints again to like look at all of you in turn. Like she's trying to like maybe internally judge your character. She says, "Fine, you can see the abbot. We gotta wait until he feeds everyone."
Yeah. Yeah, Leon he'd walk up with the girls with him. He'd probably move like Anya down to be sat on his hip or something, so she's not like climbing all over him. I'll walk them up. Hannah, hello.
Hi, apologies if you can hear a bunch of drunk kids screaming weird songs.
Verified.
Very
outside.
faintly.
Yeah.
Did you get your? Do you have to set your mic settings on each server, or is it global? 'Cause you're still pretty quiet.
Let me mess with it for a minute. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah. I was in another server with her, and they figured out it was her input. And when I was in the voice channel with her, she blew out my eardrums because I had her at 200%.
Oh.
Okay, so on the back of this
Let me turn it
coin,
down real quick.
Wait,
on the
hold
back
let
of
me do
this
that too.
coin,
Yeah, let me turn it down. Let me turn it down. Hold on.
Okay, now you're at 100.
is a masked Lord of Waterdeep. And it's a very large coin.
What?
My coin of decisionary. I pull it out. On the back of it is a masked Lord of Waterdeep because it is. And I flip it, and it lands face down. And it
And it
comes up
says,
as
ouch.
no. And I say, I can help. We can help. And if you don't let us, the town's just going to keep going down until there's nothing's left.
You can make a persuasion. Well, if you can make a persuasion, she's already said you can see the abbot, but you can make a persuasion check.
Nate, do you know what this does?
Yes and no. I don't want to like do out of character stuff, but
I like how you all are squaring up to this. Like,
it's just the first time you've used it, so I gotta read up on it. But I think you can like
I said
flip
too.
it if you want to determine a course of action.
Wait, what did you do?
I use my coin of decisionary.
Ooh.
But I don't think it actually has any divination powers.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, well, she definitely doesn't know what this
Wait,
is.
sorry, I just wasn't paying attention to anything you just said. I apologize. Now I just it just
okay,
stopped
I've been
working
in and
for a
She
second.
said, "Well, well, give me a persuasion check." They have just reached Goldenfields. Ooh.
Nope.
I've already said you could see the abbot. You just gotta wait. These people need their food, okay? It's the only thing they get to eat, and this what they get here is supposed to last them a whole day.
Is there a pot of water around? Like, is there an empty
As
pot?
that you can see, no. People are leaving with jugs of water, though.
mean, if you
Okay.
have any food that's gone bad, I can
Looks like people are leaving
make
with
it
like
good.
maybe like a loaf of bread or something, and like a jug of water.
Perhaps we should just wait until he's ready to see us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll wait, but still, if you have any,
Is there like a horse trough or something nearby? Like any kind of open container?
Maybe closer to the abbot itself, but you're still like on this
How far
hill.
away? How far away are we?
Oh, so it's about 100, let's say 100 feet from where you are at to the abbey.
And nobody in my party has a container, like a jug.
Not one that would hold 10 gallons.
I have a. Where is it? Oh, that's right.
Abeling
It's like
just
the-
yells, "Who needs water?"
Whatever. The people in front of you in the line, there is some space now while you're talking to this woman. The line has left you. But a few of the people at the back end of the line turn to regard you curiously.
Bring me.
It looks like they're holding empty jugs. Like
Can I create water in their jugs?
if you want, yeah.
I back away.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of water.
I mean, I'm hoping I have them form into.
It's
like,
only
a
about
cascading pattern.
5 people.
I've decided their jugs are big enough.
Okay.
But yeah, each one looks to hold about a gallon of water, so you'll get some spillage.
I
You can
have
break
them
up to 10 gallons.
do like a funnel down the line towards the thing with everyone.
Actually, it says you create up to, so you can create
Cool.
any number up to 10 as long as it doesn't exceed that.
Create up to whatever 5 gallons of water into these people's things or whatever it is.
All right. Yeah.
Like, is that possible if I could spread it out?
Yeah.
And I'll do it in front of the woman. As I said, I can help.
She would harumph and say, "The abbot can make more," and then but she said, "You'll have to wait."
Can I, but I didn't want it to go to waste.
And she says, "Listen, he's almost done. It's like another 5 minutes, and you can go talk to him."
All right, let's just wait, guys.
Fine.
Yeah.
I ask her if there is a holy text.
Insight.
Like when if y'all are done with your thing, or
You got
We are
11 with a
making
plus
insight?
8?
Yeah, I feel like crap, y'all.
She says,
Can we
"I
all-
don't know
what?
what you're talking about," and she is telling the truth.
Did you
Can
know?
anybody else insight?
Wait,
Yeah.
what's happening right now?
Wait, can someone roll an insight check for me? I'm not by my
A
laptop.
brief,
I'm in bed.
just a brief recap, Kat. You guys took a ferry down from Yartar to Goldenfields. Along the way, you met a Goliath named Bjorn that is also on the way to Goldenfields. He's there to attend their version of Oktoberfest. But sadly, he discovered that they are not having it because the water done gone bad. But anyway, also on the ferry, you were trying to figure out what the F is wrong with Nat. Why their fur turned blue when they summoned Ukman. You weren't able to cover much, but you did get some more clues when you talked to when you reached Goldenfields proper and talked to an awakened tree named Liverlas, who called her blessed And there's something underneath her, he said, like a flowing stream that reminds him of a druid, but wilder and more primeval.
Cool.
Nat, this woman is lying.
Yeah, this we know she's lying.
Buscemi will hold up a hand and say, "We can wait 5 minutes."
That's what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know. Definitely lie.
While you're waiting, you see these. It looks like you are somewhat alarmed because you hear you hear footfalls coming from behind you, and they are very heavy. And
Is that Bjorn? Is he trying to sneak up on us?
And you hear a.
Oh,
Cow.
might still be Bjorn.
No, that's a bad one. It's more deeper than that. I can't do a good bear. You see 2 black bears behind you.
Oh,
They're sort of just walking up to you. And they occasionally stop and sniff the air. And then they sort of start walking around you guys and looking at you, regarding you, sniffing you. They seem to sniff at your packs and your pockets.
No, shoo, go
And she's
away.
like, "Oh, don't! They just want food. Don't mind them."
Reaches for a sword.
Darlo, Trilby, stop! Or Tilby, Darlo, Tilby, stop!
Wait, are we in the sea? Are we in Goldenfields or not?
You're in Goldenfields.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's this woman with 2 bears? Never mind, just ignore me. I'll try to
Today and find the ranger.
Hey,
So.
bear with you.
Oh no, they're not mine. They just live here. Come on. And she's pulling them, but they're
do they head down
bears,
our
and
way?
so they're not moving.
Do they head down my way, or do they just kind of
They're going to every person in the line ahead of you and trying to mooch food off them, looks like.
When they walk past your
Was there?
just
Yeah, I'm gonna skip the bears scratches.
hold Anya or Natalia out over to them so they can pat the bear.
Yeah, they're petting them too.
That's cute.
Seems like you've got 2 perfectly good sources of meat right here.
She says, These creatures are a gift from Shantae. We cannot possibly.
Oh, I put my sword away. I did not realize.
Come on, they weren't being aggressive.
Well, they could feed a couple families.
That is true.
But if
anyways.
Shantae had blessed you with them, then I'm sure she had a reason to give you bears.
Bears.
Yeah.
Is the abbot finishing up at this point?
Yeah, as he finishes up and he's like, "Oh, hello, Darlo, Tilby. Of course, I have some for you." You hear him say, and he gives them some food. He lays down bowls of water for them. Because he can't really carry jugs.
When I get up to him, I just say, "I'll let the girls get some food." Say, Abbott, it's I need to get back into the accent. It's good to see you again.
Ah, yes. It is always a pleasure to see you, Bjorn.
Yes. If I'd known what had happened, I would have brought some more back with me, but it's all I got. And I just offer out a handshake.
Yeah, is the abbot lying? That's what I want to know.
And I'd like to pass over 200 GP and 7 rations.
Oh, there you go.
He says, "Well, he takes it with the hand, but he only takes the rations. He says, money will not help this problem, but I thank you for the food."
I would have brought more, but I've got to support the girls as well. I've got to support. I need to do the ration. I need to do the ration. I've got to support the girls as well.
I suppose you're here for the fall festival, but Sadly, as you can see, we are not in a position to be celebrating anything really these days.
Well, I believe I may have brought a not really an immediate solution, but a solution nonetheless. I just step aside. It might be mine, actually. I'll quickly pop over to my headset.
When he sees you all, he goes, strangers, oh, you wouldn't happen to be, what were they called? Acquisitions Incorporated.
Correct.
That's it.
Oh, this
Team
is
Soteria. At your
joyous
service.
news. Praise Shantae. I was wondering when you would get here.
Is that better?
Come, you must be hungry from your time on the road. I don't have much left, and it is rather bland, but it is nutritious.
I mean, I'm not really that hungry.
Something to drink, then. We only really have water.
If you have even any of the bad water, I can just clean that up real quick.
Oh, well, we don't really have any of that here. It's no.
But that is kind of why we're here. That we are looking.
Well, yes, I assume you're here to solve our water problem.
Yes.
Well, let's talk in the Abbey. Savembra, please clean up while I discuss the details with our guests. She's like, you got it. It's the halfling. Darlow and Tilby, just once they are eaten and drink, they just begin wandering the grounds of the Abbey. The woman, you don't have her name yet, but he'll say, Zeeling, there's no need to be so cautious. They are here to help us. She harumphs.
Say Bjorn will probably help clean up unless you all invite him in to help out in there. But he'd probably just go help clean up outside.
Yeah. You know this halfling. It's a female halfling druid. Her name is Savembra Tumbleleaf, which that is directly from the book. I did not change at all because I deemed it sufficient.
Yeah. He'd probably just get chatting to her.
This is the woman?
Sevram.
Wish you could have come back at a better time, Bjorn. Sorry, that's not her voice. Wish you could have come back at a better time, Bjorn. It's, well, things aren't so great around here.
I need to get that. I wish I could have come back a better time as well. But, bad times lead to good times. We fell down bad times, we came to Goldenfields, good times. I go out, I get bad things happen while I'm away.
You missed the giants, too, and now this.
Yes, I got, my natural charm and seductive abilities seem to get cold shoulder on boat down from Yartir.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
He was just saying, like, his natural charms and seductive abilities got the cold shoulder on the boat down from Yartir.
He says, no, I mean, giants attacked here, like in the spring.
They came to Goldenfields.
Yeah. Knocked a hole right through the wall.
You should have said something. I would have been down here in a heartbeat.
I mean, it's hard to write you a letter when you move around all the time.
Yeah, send it to someone that they will find me some. They always seem to do.
Anyway, luckily some adventurers were here at the time And by the grace of Shantae, some adventurers were here at the time, and they took care of them.
Are we still around or are we gone at this point?
I think you guys are gone.
Okay.
That was
Right.
another distraction for the book.
I'm glad, put Sandwich. I'm glad all of you are okay. Like, all of you, the entire town. I do not know what would have happened if I came back and lost another family.
Yeah, I mean, it was something, and just when we thought everything went back to normal, this happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure these adventurers can sort something out. They seem to work for a electrical company. I know the person they work for, a magician down in Waterdeep.
Oh, well, I mean, if you know him and vouch for him, Bjorn, I'm sure they're good folk.
Yes. They seem to be able to handle from what I picked up from them.
Well, let's hope they're let's hope so. And then I'll transition over to you, everyone else. So you guys are entering the abbey, and it is trying to find the actual description of it. You see its outer walls have statues on Shantae at every corner, and her hands are raised to the sky, as though maybe praying for rain. As you enter the building itself, you see a sun-shaped window of stained glass set above the entrance, and narrow narrow windows of stained glass decorated with images of wheat, fruit, and vegetables light the pillared arcades within. Towards the back of the building, mounted between sturdy roof beams, is a large bronze bell that is rung 15 minutes before prayers every morning, noon, and evening. And he says, "Oh, please, have a seat. We really only have pews, but you must be weary from the road."
That noise is prompting me to make an insight check for absolutely nothing. Now sit down.
Suppose I could tell you a bit about our predicament and our hopes for you all. I guess I'd just start back in the spring. Goldenfields has always been a peaceful town. We have a guard here, but there are only about 20 people. Everyone here sort of worships Shantea. We have regular emissaries from the Emerald Enclave that stop by, so people usually don't like to mess with Goldenfields. But in the springtime, some giants that attacked the town, they were driven out due to the timely intervention of some passing adventurers. And we've been slowly recovering since then, due to the grace of Shantea. But towards the beginning of the fall season, when we were supposed to be begun harvesting, our crops, some people began to fall ill, and upon further investigation, revealed that the spring water had turned a nasty shade of dull green, and those who drank it got sick, and any crops that we fed its water also would cause sickness, or the crops themselves would wither and die. So we've been in quite a predicament. I tried to purify the spring, of course, using what divine magic I have that's been granted to me by Shantea, but my efforts have proven mostly fruitless, as the spring itself is merely an outpouring of the source, not the source itself. So, failing to purify the spring, we put in requests to pass more adventurers passing through, some druids, members of the Emerald Enclave, to assist us. Meanwhile, we've been able to survive on food and water conjured through the use of a spell. Those that have decided to assist us thus far, in order to find the source of water supply and purify it, have unfortunately not returned. And so, in desperation, I turned to this adventuring company known as Hack Inc. I saw one of your company's flyers at the North Furrow's end, and decided, you know, to give you guys a call, so to speak.
Give us a ring.
It says, I mean, it would.
So,
I don't know if you know much about what Goldenfields does, but we supply over half of Desert Valley's crops. So, they are not feeling it right now, but they will soon if this matter doesn't get resolved quickly.
so obviously it's very important that we get water situation figured out, and we'll definitely do that. We do need to tell you that there has been a situation that's down where temples have been having their holy texts stolen, while it seems like distractions such as this cause in the guards, such making it much easier these people to come in and deal the very important text. So we need to know: are you liable for a threat with that? Do you have a very sacred text in this temple?
He says, he's sort of sizing you up, and he says, he thinks for a moment. He says, "You see, you're genuine. You are genuine in your concern. I won't ask how you knew about nature's bounty, but yes, we do have a holy text of Shantea, one of the few
We know
she penned
because
that was gifted to us a while ago. We safeguard it here at the Abbey."
right, we know because two other boys too so far, right? Hopefully
Have
only
you
those
checked?
two.
Three.
Have you
Will
checked on it?
has already been stolen.
Ooh, well, we usually read from it at the start of the planting season, at the end of the harvest season, but we haven't really had end of harvest, so it's pretty much stayed in the basement.
Sorry. When was the last time you checked?
Ooh, I would say in the springtime.
I might suggest doing that now to make sure that it's still there and that we can
Hold
actually.
on. Hey,
If you were talking, you cut out.
hey Rex,
Yes.
do you have access to Glyph of Wording?
Yes.
Cool. Hashtag not prepared on my spell list.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
really on
technically,
mine
he
either.
has access to all wizard spell he can currently cast. He's just got to roll the dice.
That's my point.
My downtime, can I just create like little grenades with that thing?
Is that how it works?
I think so.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, we are getting close to time.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to finish up conversation with the abbot, we can do that.
Okay, I'll try to make it through that. I'm sorry, I've been in
Yeah.
and out.
I just don't want to end
We
you
can
guys in
go
the middle
out
of a
and use the dog.
conversation.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we just got hold on. Notes for
So you wanted to check on the book. There's, oh, yes, it's of course we keep it in the basement because it's cool and dry down there. So but other than that, most
what'd you
people
say it was called again?
Nature's Bounty.
That thing's gonna be
I mean,
gone.
it's mostly cultivating techniques, how to grow certain crops, what fertilizer to use. It's more of an almanac, but it was, of course, divinely sourced from Shantae herself. So, I mean, it's how we've been so successful here at Goldenfields.
We don't really know exactly what kind of knowledge they're searching. I mean, they could be looking just as long as it's divine in nature, and especially if it was written so directly. I think definitely.
I mean, it's not exactly. As I don't come down here a lot because it's a little cold for my old bones. But I mean, I don't stop people. It's any believer in Shantae has access to this abbey and all the rooms within. So it's not exactly under guard per se, but we can give it a look.
Yes. Quickly.
And you go down and into the basement. It's very dark, and he casts light so he can see. He has a walking staff, and he casts it on that. He's walking down.
Shield.
Shield on him, or
No, my shield.
oh, that'll work too. Oh, what a curious item. Um, and well, you light the way, Miss.
Abelade, the Swift, cleric of Lathander.
Oh, fellow clergy. It's so nice to meet someone so interested in the divine these days, especially one of your age.
I'll also tell him. I tell him that I took care of the tree.
Oh, Liverlass! Ah, I almost forgot. Well, thank you. I usually do that right after I feed the people.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't help with that, but as you know, sometimes we don't have access to all of our God's holy power when we need.
Yes, and during such times we can only make do with prayer and offerings.
If I sleep, I can help you feed the town tomorrow.
Oh, well, my thanks, but it's not necessary. Myself and Miss Tumbleleaf are able to get by.
Yes, but I would hope that a fellow clergy would do it for me in my town, as my town has gone through this recently.
Yes, of course. I'm just making sure you don't have another use for a spell for the day.
Hopefully not, but I have my ways. Lathander blesses me.
Oh, okay. Well, it should be around here somewhere. Where is it? Hmm.
Can I make a perception check to see if there's anything hinky going on?
Yeah. Well, help me look for it. I can't seem to find it. It's
No, I want to look for like any librarians in the area, anything like that, anything suspicious happen.
uh well, so far the only people you've seen in the abbey or on the abbey grounds are 2 birds. Ziliang.
What kind of birds were they?
No, two birds. Bears. Sorry.
BRS.
I said like birds though, not burbs. I said birds.
See, I heard
Good.
burbs like tweet.
I said that. I said birds.
They were grizzly bears, weren't
They were black bears.
Black bears.
Yeah, I did not say burb. I said birds. They're moochers though. But yeah. He says that you've seen are the 2 black bears. You saw Ziliang, the woman who confronted you about cutting the line. You saw Savembra, the halfling that was helping him dole out food, and you saw Elliot,
guys.
Deverin.
Hi.
As far as anyone else, with the perception check, you don't see any other signs of movement or life, sort of, either in your peripheral or the corner of your eye, or looking
Dude, I gotta
around.
go. I gotta go.
Okay.
Bye.
I help look for this book.
As well,
Bye.
it's
Same.
it's bound in leather. It's like the color of a ripe grain.
Sure. I know that. I look for it.
And it has the symbol of Shantea on the front.
Just
Give me investigation.
Oh, I'm no good at
Oh,
investigation.
Same. Can I do
oh,
that?
Rex, where are you? Do skills.
You got a lot of smart people here now. It is
There we go.
it is not here. You do not see it.
Oh my god.
Is there
Too
any,
late.
trace
This
of
is
people taking
this is troubling to say the least. And the last person down here was a member of the Emerald Enclave.
Their name.
Okay, let's go find them.
They said they wanted inspiration from the book before they helped us with our water problem.
Okay. Okay, so we need to do this quick before they figure out that we're down here and we know it's gone. Why don't you go grab them and tell them.
Well, they're not here anymore. They left about, well, I would say 4 days ago.
Right before we got here. Alright. Any idea where he went off to?
Well, he said he
You
was going to
haven't
solve our
looked at
water
this
problem.
book
He hasn't
for-
been back since. What was his name?
You haven't looked at this book for 4 days?
I don't know.
He hasn't looked at it since spring.
Wow, that's real smart.
So you said you went to go check out the water.
Yes. What was
If
his
he
name?
actually did.
Insert name here. I'll come up with one and give it to you guys.
Alright.
I'm
John
sure it was very
Smith.
real. Yes. My name is Real Man.
John Reelman.
John Real Person.
Writing down notes, learned of the whole nature's bounty. Next line, it was stolen.
Damn. It's not like we could have gotten here any quicker. I just hope that the other ones were more safely guarded.
I have no idea what.
I
this
mean,
plot line
Evelyn's
is.
message to her superior will have further repercussions, good or bad, or bad.
Consequence.
Yeah, consequences in the future. So.
Well, at this point, I think it's pretty clear that he didn't actually go to figure out the water source problem. So I think at this point, we can't do anything about the book. We just need to go figure out the water problem.
Yep. We don't have next to no leads, but
Well,
we could.
Which, I mean, yeah, if
sure.
it's been 4 days ago, that find object isn't going to do anything.
Yeah. For the book, the father does have some leads of chill leave. He's of course distressed, and once he sort of settles down, he realizes that the lives of his sort of flock, so to speak, are more important than a book. And he surmises that whatever the source is of this of their spring that they use to sort of irrigate the town, there might be another way. It might have other outlets, so to speak. This might not be the only one, and so he's hoping you guys can find something like that and follow it back to the source, and then purify said source. He says, I imagine it will be quite a lot of water, and will probably beyond the ken of most magics. So here, and he hands you a seed. He says, "You just drop this in at the source of a water supply, and it will cleanse any impurifications." It's my last one. You're our last hope.
Thank you.
Matt will tuck that away in the bag. Safest place.
It's called a nemesis seed.
And
No.
of course, I don't know how long it will take you to find your way into our spring water source, but while you're in Goldenfields, you feel free to stay at the North Furrows End Inn. We don't really have a lot of visitors these days, so there should be rooms aplenty. Talk to Miros Selbin. He's the proprietor.
Well, thank you. Well, want to get on that sooner rather than later for sure.
Yes, thank you. Blessings of Shantea upon you.
And to you as well.
All right. And with that, we will end the session.
Oh.
And I'll end Ye Old Stram.